Hello and welcome to the IPF 2021 World Open Equipped Powerlifting Championships here in Stavanger, Norway. My name's Jo Whiteley. It's my absolute pleasure to be here today with Gary Williams, and we have the 105 kilo class for you. This is day 5, I think, Gary?
We are now entering into day 5. It's tough to keep track, not because it's been long, it's because it's been just so edge of your seat, exciting every day.
We had world records for. We had the favourite yesterday, Musienko, struggled, ended up in 3rd place.
Yeah, that was a really interesting and really exciting session yesterday. And what is really interesting about that, Inzarkin has now put himself, for the moment, in the best lifter position.
Oh, I hadn't spotted that.
109.2 points. Which
he's moved ahead of Fedozienko.
Which is, I guess, it's one of those things where we're sort of always expecting Fedozienko to get the best lifter. But Inzarkin is there. We're moving into the heavyweights now.
Well, that just shows what a brilliant session it was yesterday. Out of the top 4 in the best lifter, 3 of them were 93 kilo classes and 1's Fedozienko.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, we watched that, and as you said, Musienko just couldn't put it all together, had a rough day. Yeah. Dmitry Inzarkin played a really mature game of numbers. He just put his numbers in, he followed it through, and he waited to that last minute and suddenly just pulled that last deadlift to get the gold medal.
Amazing. We've just got time to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Eleiko, who provide the best platform equipment in the world. Absolutely beautiful Swedish steel, and they provide the equipment for us here today and flew someone out here to check it for us and make sure everything was up to scratch. They provide the backroom equipment as well. An SBD who have a stand here today, and they are manufacturers of the best strength apparel in the world. The SBD belt is, in my opinion, absolute market leader.
Yep, I have it on good authority there. Limited edition winter range will be coming soon.
Wow. So we are underway now, and we have Ricardo Fongaro from Brazil coming out for 260 kilos. We have quite a few lifters here today. We're going to be running this as a Group A and Group B. So all of Group A will come out and do all of their squats, and then we'll have Group B come out.
Yeah, it's a big flight. The 105 class has really grown and developed a lot over the last several years.
A little bit slow at lockout, but...
Yeah, that was quite interesting. He was fast through the middle and a little bit slow at the top to lock out.
He's been given red cards for depth, so that was not deep enough. So this isn't unusual in equipped lifting because it's hard to calibrate, because quite often your warm-up squats probably won't go to depth and you need the weight of your opener to drive you down. So they'll just go and recalibrate where their expectation is now.
Yeah, the first lift on equipped lifting is always tough. It's number-wise, you want a number that is pretty solid, almost 100%er. But really, it's a bit of a hit and miss at times with the equipment.
This is Kong Lin from Chinese Taipei for 270. Very tall lifter. This bar's going to have to move a long way.
He is really tall.
And he made short work of that.
Handles the depth very, very well. Oh, he's got 2 red cards there. Just not getting quite far enough. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's just on the edge, isn't he?
Just not quite breaking through parallel. It's not enough to meet parallel. You have to break through it. So we have Akbari Murdad from Iran coming out next.
There's quite a number of lifters from Iran here this week. Probably one of their biggest teams I've seen at this competition.
He's asked for 275 kilos to be added to the bar for his opening attempt. Looking quite relaxed as he approaches the platform.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's well below his listed personal best. And, I mean, that's a really smart thing to do at a World Championship event, get one on the board.
Walking out for your first squat at the World Championships is so nerve-wracking. You've travelled a long way in some cases, and everything's different. The training environment's different. and you walk out onto that platform under the lights and in front of the cameras, big crowd.
Well,
the weight was easy.
Yeah, weight-wise was fine. And not getting depth, though. The other difficult thing, you know, that first squat at a World Championship event is, too, you don't train with 5 spotters.
True.
And it can be quite daunting being surrounded by all these spotters.
Emanuel of Vickersland, Norway. Home nation lifter. Opening with 300 kilos. He's 24, he's only just into the open class.
And he just made weight today, weighing in at 105. Right on the money.
He competed as well at Halmstad in the Classic. And this is a hard thing to do, to turn around into an equipped competition this quickly.
Yeah, it's been a very busy schedule for all these athletes. Well, it moved okay. It wasn't super fast, but he gets the depth and gets it on the board. In technique, there was nothing really wrong with it. Just didn't move super fast.
Mustafa Yazdani Kachire next from Iran. And he's looking for 305.
Bar is loaded for Mustafa Yazdani, Iran.
I'm just trying to recall. He seems familiar. He may have lifted a couple of years back in Sweden. But he's taking a long time to get to the platform.
He was in Dubai.
In Dubai, that's where it was. Well, he's got 30 seconds left on the clock. He's still doing his wrist wraps up.
Yeah, that's not great. But they've got 2 lifters quite close together in this flight, so
Yeah,
I don't know how big the coaching team is for Iran. Maybe he's wrapping both lifters.
Right. He's got time, but I think on the next lift he might want to get there a bit earlier. And I think his wrist wrap just came undone.
And he handled that really well,
Yeah,
considering that he was a bit rushed.
He did a really good job there. He was rushed, his wrist wrap came undone, but he got the squat command and he just waited and settled himself, calmed everything down.
Bolek and Akutsu, get ready.
That's the advantage of having a little bit of world level experience.
John Wesley Cummings from Canada. He's opening with 317.5.
You talk about a long way to travel. Canada is certainly a long trip.
And west to east, jet lag is the worst of all. No, I don't think we've seen him compete internationally since Sweden 2018. Very active in Canada though.
That wide stance makes depth so challenging.
And the referees say,
And the referees say not deep enough as
No
well.
depth.
Having that really wide stance makes it really difficult to push the hips down.
He looked like he was struggling to push through as well, to push against the suit.
Bolek, Denmark, Akutsu, Zichevski, get
So hopefully he can come back and get that on his second attempt. Patrick Boleck from Denmark, also for 317.5.
Getting that bar dug in as tight as you can.
And we haven't seen him at a World Championship since he was a junior. But he did do the Europeans in August.
Well,
Oh,
speed
that
was
was fast.
really good. And
No
not
depth.
quite deep enough though. A lot of the guys struggling with depth a bit here today. You will note that when we get into the bigger guys, depth does become a little bit more difficult. It's also probably a little bit more difficult to judge
yeah,
as well.
Absolutely. Takahito Akutsu, Japan. He's looking for 320.
Yeah, he's no stranger to the international circuit either. I've seen him lift a number of times before. He'll be slipping into the Masters next year.
He's been at the last few World Championships, gradually moving his position up.
Yeah, he's just been chipping away over the years, getting his ranking higher and higher.
Fast.
Yeah, from this angle it looked deep enough, but we'll wait and see. It is. He
And
gets in
he's
there.
on the board.
That's the experience showing through there.
Really efficient as well. He looks really well built to squat.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 20 plus years experience in competing. And he has, as you said, he's just been chipping away, building his rankings over the years, getting better and better.
Evzen Zichevski for 325.
Bar is loaded for Evzen Zichevski, Czech Republic.
There have been some very big lifters out of Czechia over the years.
He's not long out of the juniors, I think. Last time I saw him in Regina for the World Juniors in 2019. He was silver medalist there, I think.
It can be quite a difficult transitioning depending on the country you're from and the size of the open team they already have when you come out of the juniors.
Nice.
Great technique there. Love the drop in. Gets everything out of the equipment he can. And I don't think I've ever seen a 105 actually move off the platform so quickly.
Fongaro and Lin, get ready.
You see Kangas Vieri, Finland, for 327 and a half.
Kangas Vieri, Finland.
Very
that was-
slow at the bottom there.
That looked like hard work.
Nice referees say it's a
And he
good
gets it
thing.
on.
2-2.
That's 2-1.
White lights.
And the side refs there both giving white lights, and they are in the best position for
260
depth.
kilos for Ricardo Fongaro.
And we are through to the second round now. Just to remind you that we're running two groups of 105s, so we won't get any placings in this group. It's Group A in that they're out first, but it's the B group as we don't expect them to make the placings. So this is Ricardo Fongaro,
Vamos,
Brazil.
come on, people.
He didn't make this on depth first time out.
Give him your support.
So he's kept it at the same weight.
World Championships. Everybody needs to get a total.
And I think their decision there to keep it at the same weight is probably quite a good one. Just a little adjustment in technique, a little adjustment in maybe the wraps just to get down into that deeper position. Yeah, he dropped
Definitely
a lot
looked
better that
better.
time. Let's see if it's deep enough. He certainly dropped better into that one. And it is.
He's on the board.
He's working business. 270 kilos for Kong Lin, Murdad, and Vicusland.
Yeah, and you can see how much more he got out of the suit. And the knee wraps in that one.
Same situation with
Kong Lin also failed his opener on depth.
Bar is loaded for Kong Lin, Chinese
He is
Taipei. Come on,
a very,
Lin.
very tall lifter.
Let's go.
Just looking at the Eleiko rack, and I'm wondering how many more.
You think he's won the rack out competition?
It's got to go close.
I wouldn't like to say.
He has no problem shifting the weight. It moves really well, and that time he gets it down there.
Good job.
He'll be breathing a sigh of relief now.
275 kilos for Akbari Murdad.
Akbari Murdad also coming out for the second time.
Same situation with Akbari.
He missed this one on depth for his opener.
Bar is loaded for Akbari Murdad.
This is going to be quite difficult to keep track of with two groups running in the same weight class. So if you have the ability to go to goodlift.info, you can follow the live score sheet and keep track of the competition a little bit better.
Yeah, it's also quite challenging for the athletes when you run two groups like this on both sides. I mean, sometimes you get some really big numbers in the first flight. And as an athlete in the second flight, you're not really watching that. Well, depth looked a lot better on that one,
Easy. Referee saying
but still
Still
not
not good
deep
enough.
enough.
He's in trouble now.
Yeah, I think what he really needs to do, he hung around the bottom for such a long time there.
Yeah, he didn't quite break through parallel though. You can see from the side view much
So
better.
he just needs to drop into that a little bit.
Euron Vickersland, Norway.
Although I think I can see some movement from the jury. I would imagine that his coach has gone to the jury panel.
In the meantime, we have Emmanuel of Vickersland. He made his opener at 300. He's gone up to 315. Lot of support in the crowd today. It's great to see such a packed crowd here in Stavanger.
Vickersland, the big Norwegian giant, has come out, so they'll all come to watch. And gets back to the top. He gets the rack command. Let's wait and see. It is on the board.
And you know, it didn't look super easy, but I don't think it looked enormously different.
No, it was quite good. I mean, it's a second lift, so it's going to be tough.
Oh,
But
Gary, I've just seen Murdad's second squat was
They
overturned.
overturned, so it's a good
It's
lift.
a good lift.
He'll be feeling a lot of relief.
Let's go.
Mustafa Yazdani Kachue.
Yeah, he had a great opening lift. I see he's out to the platform about 30 seconds earlier this time.
Yes. He had all manner of trouble, didn't he? He was late to the platform, under time pressure, his wrist wrap came undone.
Look, and as you said, you've got a couple of lifters. It can be difficult to manage all that when you're wrapping multiple lifters, but they've got it perfect this time.
And it's a bit of work to do.
Yeah, it was a little bit tough in the first one,
It's a good performance.
but he's handling it well.
Good job.
I think probably maybe another 5, 7, maybe 7.5 kilos onto the next one, I think.
John Wesley, Bolek and Kangas Vieri, get ready.
So we have John Wesley Cummings now from Canada. He missed his opener on deck as well. He's keeping the weight the same, 317.5.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. He has a very wide stance, which one makes it difficult to get to depth. Two, you've got the equipment, makes it difficult to get depth.
And I think it's more difficult to judge depth on that wide stance as well.
Very much so. You don't have that really clear view of parallel. So he just needs to make it a little bit more convincing.
I'm not sure that looked much different.
It's going to be close. Very hard to tell from that angle. And as you said, with the wide stance, but not deep enough again. He's got himself into a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming close, if I'm honest. So, Patrick Bolek. His opener was really fast, but not deep enough.
Yeah, he's made the interesting decision to go up 5 kilos here, which in a lot of cases, you know, when you're handling the weight really well, the squat was really fast. This extra 5 might be just enough just to push it a little bit further. Because he certainly wasn't a long way off.
Wow, that looked loads better.
Well, the weight didn't seem to make a difference to the movement, and it did its job.
I think he'll take a big jump now.
Yeah, he's shifted that really easily.
You see Kangas Vieri, Finland. He made his opener of 327.5, gone up 10. And it was a nice looking opener.
Yeah, I think this should move quite well. And 10 kilos is not an enormous jump when we get into these weight classes. You can see the pressure that low bar position puts on the shoulders and the elbows. Well, that was interesting because his opener moved really well.
Yeah. I wonder if he just made a mistake there, got out of position.
The bar looked like it was in a different position than his opening squat. And it just didn't look comfortable in that position.
And you talk about timing all the time. If you mistime that drive out to the bottom.
Yep.
Evzen Zichevski from Czechia, coming out for 340. His opener looked good.
Yeah,
gone up 15.
Bringing a little bit of intensity to this one. 15 kilos is not an enormous jump in this weight class, but you're going to notice a difference. Drops in really nicely though. He has that great technique of dropping into the bottom. And it pays off. You can see the speed he gets out of the bottom there. And he just puts him in the position where he's able to use that momentum and chase it up.
Takahito Akutsu, Japan, gone up a full 20 kilos, but his opener was fast.
Yeah, and he's just such an experienced, mature lifter. And he's been doing this for a long time. He knows what his body can handle. And you'll find that some of these guys in the 105s and the heavier weight classes are training with big jumps as well.
That didn't look as deep to me.
It didn't look as deep. It looked as quick, but it wasn't as deep.
2-1. That he has his first attempt.
So,
And as you say, he's handling the weight so well. It's a
yeah,
shame to
that
miss.
one looked like it was a bit of not quite sure when to pull up.
Third round.
We're through now to the third round. Just a reminder that this is the B group, so we will have more 105s coming out after this round of squats. We have Kangas Vieri.
And bar is loaded for Ricardo Fongaro.
Oh, this is Ricardo Fongaro. I thought that had gone round in a strange order.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
But this is Ricardo Fongaro for 272.5. Yeah, I don't think Kanga would have been able to get his wraps on and off in that space of time. PB's 287.5, so
Yeah, it's
he's
interesting.
not up against
It
it.
hasn't moved fast. His opener wasn't deep enough. He sunk the next one really well.
Seemed quite tentative on the descent there.
Yeah, and he's struggling with lockout at the top there. And it was the same with his first one. He struggled with lockout at the top, but he got it on the board. He's pretty excited about that.
Good shot.
He did well to control this because he got really out of shape on the
Yeah.
descent.
Lin Lin. Mid-round.
Yeah, showed some fierce determination to bring that up all the way.
And that was a tough lockout.
5 lifts to change the opener for second group. 5
Kong
attempts,
Lin,
time to change
Chinese
the
Taipei's
opener.
only gone up
Bar is
5.
loaded for Kong Lin, Chinese Taipei.
Now I think that his second moved very well, so this seems like a small jump.
It is quite a small jump. And he's lifted a lot more than this in the past.
That looked great.
Yeah, that moved really quickly. Depth from this angle looks good. He gets it on the board.
2-1 for only 295 kilos for Akbari Murdad. Wesley and Vickersland, get ready.
Akbari Murdad coming out now. He had his second squat failed by the referees, but that was overturned by the jury. The referees have one view and they take a split-second decision, but the jury on their table have the slow motion replay from the side cameras as well.
Yeah, and we have a great system in place too. I mean, so a coach can approach the jury. If you disagree, the jury can intervene if they've seen something that couldn't be seen without the slow motion.
So Murdad's gone up a full 20 kilos, up to 295.
Just has to get the bounce in the bottom here. He is super strong. He didn't get a whole lot out of that
And it's a
suit and the knee wraps there.
to Akbari. It's
But it was a successful lift. He's on the board,
below the bar, 370
which is
kilos,
more than I can say for John Wesley Cummings. Coming up next, he has
Yeah,
missed
he's got
2
himself in all
squats
sorts of trouble
on
now.
depth, and he didn't look close either time.
Bar is loaded for John Wesley, Canada.
What's interesting is they've kept the weight the same. Quite often you'll see they keep the weight the same on the second, and then on the third, it's like, you know what, we're going to have to put a bit more on and just see if it works. We're out of options by this
John,
time.
you can do this.
I mean, the weight-wise, it's certainly not too heavy for him. It's well within range for
Absolutely
him.
not. But he really needs to press down into depth.
Well, this is do or die. Just needs to drop in here.
That's a shame.
That is a real shame because he looked like he got down there on that one,
It certainly
but
looked
just
better for
couldn't get
depth,
the
but
couldn't get the drive out.
yeah.
I think in that case he was so focused on getting depth he just
Didn't time it
Didn't
right.
put it together. Well, he'll be disappointed, but he'll be focusing on getting some bench out there now.
Joel Emanuel of Vickersland, Norway. He's been looking strong today. 322.5 on the bar. Small PB.
And plenty of the home crowd in the stands. Almost had a little bit of a struggle with balance there. He's showing real strength.
Yeah, it didn't look easy for him, that, but he's on the board. Just looked a little bit out of sorts all the way through the lift, but managed to muscle through it.
Yeah, he's got a long way to move that bar.
Mustafa Yazdani Kachue, Iran. Open with 305, went up 10. He's gone up another 10 for this, 325.
Yeah, I was surprised to see another full 10. The second lift looked pretty tough.
It did. And he's late to the platform again.
Yeah, I was expecting, 5, maybe 7.5. I was quite surprised when I saw the full 10 go on there.
I wonder if he's not coming out because it was a tough
Well,
low.
I did see the technical controller talking, but perhaps he changed his mind and he's not coming because there's only 30 seconds left on the clock now. And I can't really see a whole lot going on over there. Oh, yeah. No, that's not him.
That's not him.
Yeah, it
so
looks
he's
like
not
he's
going to
decided
come
not
out
to come
for
out.
it. And it's considered to be good sportsmanship to leave an attempt on the board, even if you're not going to come out for it, because the next guy who's wrapping his knees might not realise you've dropped out, and it gives everyone less time to recover.
Yeah, it can be really difficult when someone drops out, particularly in the equipment. If you scratch that lift, suddenly, you're there a minute. You've got to be there a minute earlier, and you haven't wrapped yet, and you're not prepared.
So I think, as we said, his second was tough, so he's conserving energy for his later lifts. I think he's got a big bench, so he's going to come out and have a crack at that. So we have Patrick Boleck, Denmark, for 335. The graphic does show the rankings going to 2, but we have another 10 lifters yet to come out.
And this will be a little bit of a personal best for him, I think. And this is his first time competing in the Opens, I believe. World
It's
Championships.
the first time at Worlds as an Open, yeah.
Yeah, he's been competing in the juniors. It's really tough in some countries when you come out of the juniors and the national Open team's quite big and being very successful. It takes a few years then to break into that national team. Oh, that looks good.
Certainly very strong.
And he gets 3 white lights.
He's 3 for 3. I think he's the only one so far who is.
Yeah, it's pretty tough out there.
It is. You see Kangas Vieri, Finland, out next for 337.5. He missed this. The weight was no problem. He moved it really quickly, but didn't take it all the way to depth.
Just needs to drop it in. He now knows that he can manage that weight easily. Has that given him enough confidence to just drop it that little bit further?
A little bit unstable. Needs to get that under control.
He's not getting the bar in the right position.
So
he's really struggling. He's still got 22 seconds.
No, I think
he's decided that's enough.
Calling it.
Yep, he's used enough energy doing that. On his second one, it was the same. He just didn't seem to be in position on the bar with the bar compared to his first.
So we have Takahito Akutsu coming out next. He missed on depth last time.
Yeah, I mean, the bar moves so quickly.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can see by the look on his face, it hasn't bothered him. He has the same demeanour walking out for this one as he did for the last two. Very calm, very focused.
He's just lost his
got a bit out of
balance.
balance there. And great work from the spotters, but great work from the lifter there, staying under the bar and helping these guys push it back up.
They're expecting to help you with it. They are not expecting you to drop it on them.
Yeah, because it's very tempting when you get in that position to let go.
Yeah. Evzen Zichevski, Czechia. He is 2 for 2 right now, and he's leading the B group. This is 350. Long way north of his PB.
Certainly is.
Come on.
Well, he is going to have to give this one everything. Well, he gets the walkout, not too bad. There's that little drop in.
That looked great.
I think he's got this. Let's wait and see. He has. What a lift, 350. And he did all three lifts pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah, great technique. And that's got him a massive PB today. So we now move into the second group of 105 kilo lifters. And this is Emanuel Vicusland. And he's asked for 330.
Yeah, some strong squatters in Mongolia. They're a team that have been developing really well over the last several years in their athletes, in their coaching, in their management.
He is looking, well, he looked quite unstable going down, but he came up very
Did it
well.
up on the way back up, didn't he? Is that, do you think, just the suit just pushing back and forth, making him a little bit unstable?
Yeah, well, he certainly controlled it very well. Slightly unusual stance. He's got he had quite a lot of arch in his lumbar spine.
Jeroen Van Heuswelder, Belgium.
Euron Van Heuswelder, Belgium. 340 on the bar. PB's 355.
Yeah, he just seems to be having a bit of problems just getting in the right position here. It's going to be really challenging when you don't quite set up right the first time. Now you've got to rush it a little bit. What he needs to do is calm himself down now. There you go.
His balance is gone.
He was all out of shape there.
And that's a no lift.
You can see as he gets almost to the bottom, he just shifts back on it.
350 kilos, please, for Eric Gunnam, Sweden. Sleeves.
Yeah,
He was never comfortable, never in position on that.
Eric Gunnam, Sweden.
The bar is loaded. Eric Gunnam, Sweden. 350.
He is looking for 350 to open his account. Stated PB of 370.
So it should be well within reach. And of course, Sweden, the home of Eliko.
He was 5th in Dubai last time this competition was held, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do today.
Well, that
Nice.
looks pretty good.
Popped right up at the top there.
And that's a good lift for Eric. 3 white lights. The bar remains at 350 kilos for Christian Slee.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Silbaum, Pool, Bell to get ready.
Christian Slisha, Slovakia.
Bars loaded. Christian Slee, Slovakia, 350 kilos.
So just shy of his personal best of 360. I mean, we said a few times over the last few weeks, though, it's really difficult to know where people are at the moment, just the way things have been going. And
It is, but he did 357.5 at the Euros in August.
yeah, so then you've got the other question is, how much has that impacted on recovery from maximal efforts? Can take time.
Made the podium, he was bronze medalist at the Euros. He's struggling with the suit, isn't he?
Yeah, it's always pushing him forward. How he managed to stand that up is beyond me.
No, I am not certain he got that to depth, and neither are the referees.
Yeah, it's really started to bend him over, but somehow he managed to get it back into line.
He's super strong, but that suit looks just so tight.
Wow.
He's having to scrap with the suit as well as the weight. Marcus Silbaum, Estonia.
So again, these guys struggling to
And the bar is loaded. Margus
put them on.
Silbaum, Estonia.
Margus is also a Masters 1 lifter as well.
Yeah, 45 years old, well into the Masters. Now, he missed this weight. This is 370. He missed this 3 times at the Euros in August. So psychologically, this is a difficult squat for him.
It is, because he knows he's missed this weight, and it's interesting tactic that he's put this weight on again.
I might have been tempted just to take an easier.
Well, he has no problem lifting it. The question is he deep enough? He's
No.
not.
Not deep enough.
And this is going to really play on his mind now. I mean, if
Yeah,
he missed
this
this
is-
weight recently,
This is
and
going to
now
feel like a bogey weight.
70 kilos for Ascar Hill, Norway.
Next up, we have a very popular lifter coming out.
is there a Norwegian lifter coming out?
There are crowds pouring into the hall as we speak. This is Asgar Hurl from Norway for 370 kilos. In fact, we have another school class, whole class of school children coming down to watch.
No, the stadium is filling up.
Just feels like we have Hurl's fans pouring into the auditorium.
Gets that big breath. He's just so calm and so smooth, isn't he?
Yeah, it felt like it got a little bit out of line on the way up.
Doesn't let it worry him. He takes that big breath into the start.
I think his hips maybe just came up a little bit, tipped him over a little bit, but absolutely gave him no trouble. Ian Bell next, US Virgin Islands.
Yeah, I don't know much about Ian.
We haven't seen him for a while, but he was at World Games in 2017. The last World Championships he did was 2016. So he's still been active in his home nation, but we haven't seen him on the international circuit for a while now.
Well, making the World Championship team is always tough.
372.5 on the bar.
Well, he looks good on depth from this angle. He is. It's a good way to start his campaign.
Relatively narrow stance, feet turned out quite a long way.
for Sergey Machinsoff.
Yeah, it's quite strange when you see someone with a slightly narrow stance. When we get to the bigger guys, we see a lot of wide stance squats, and when someone comes out with a closer stance, it's almost a bit strange.
But there is no one way to squat. Everyone's built differently. And we have Sergey Machinsoff from ROC for 375 kilos.
Yeah, this is a man that needs no introduction. And you'll see his coach standing in the corner there. As serious and as big as he is, he's got a very good sense of humour. Now,
okay, now this is a real problem for the next lifter to come out, because he will be standing there already with his knees wrapped, and we are going to have to...
These guys have got to rapidly try and change this bar.
Didn't have the... Yeah, he just lost his balance completely, and it flipped off his back.
Yeah,
so
there was nothing he could do to stop that.
Yeah. So the spotters and loaders are moving.
It's not an easy job when it lands on the floor. That is the strength of an Eleiko bar, though. An Eleiko plate, you could drop it from that height.
And we have got it back on the rack now, and we're reloading it for the next lifter. I mean, it's difficult. We always say stay with the bar, but you could see there that it was just went off his back.
There was nothing he could do about that. You know, everyone did the best they could.
And it's Danilo Cavallo who's waiting to come out. He will be standing there in his knee wraps.
Look, he's young and he has a lot of experience and maturity for such a young lifter, and I don't think it's going to bother him too much. I think he's just going to come out and do his job. His coaches will be standing there, you know, in his ear, keeping him calm, not letting him get upset about this.
Danilo Cavallo, Ukraine, 380 kilos.
He joined me in the commentary booth in Regina, Canada. We did simultaneous English and Russian commentary, which was quite interesting. He's got 380 kilos on his back here, and he has made sure.
Are we sure that's 380 kilos? It moves super fast. And look, as we said, he didn't let it bother him at all.
387.5 kilos, please.
And there's the experience. He was a junior world champion. I can't remember if he was at Dubai or not.
And the bar is loaded for Dalcrest, 387.5 kilos.
We have Oliver Dalcrist coming out now for 387.5.
Didn't have a great time at World Bench in Lithuania. This is his first year in the 105s. Previously, he was in the 93s. Open World Junior Champion 3 times running, I think. I think he ranked 4th in his first World Open event. Oh, he's struggling to get the balance there. That's a bit strange.
20 seconds.
Yeah, so this is where he needs to calm down.
He's in all sorts of
He
trouble now.
just can't seem to find the spot on his back for some reason. No, he's going to call that one off and come out for his second. He's wasting a lot of energy doing it.
Yeah, I guess if it's better to not make the attempt than use all your energy. Have we had a successful squat yet? Yes, we have. We have Cavallov and Bell and Hurl on made their
There's not a
squats,
lot of them in this round.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of fails there.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, these guys are pushing themselves to their absolute limit, and when you push yourself to your absolute limit, this is what can happen. Sometimes it all goes to plan and you leave a world champion. Sometimes it doesn't go to plan.
So this is Jeroen Van Heuswelder from Belgium. He lost his balance with this weight last time. He's not looking super stable.
Well, he's back
Certainly
at the
made a
top,
better job of it.
and he gets it on the board.
Good lift for Van Heuswelder.
And he will be very relieved with that.
Really shaky all the way down.
For Tumen Jargal Dashevke from Mongolia. Slees Gunnam Silbaum to get ready.
Tumen Jargal Dashevke.
And the bar
And he said
is
from
loaded
Lithuania.
for
I had it in my
Sevke,
mind because we saw him in Lithuania. He's from Mongolia.
It wouldn't be the first time I've said the wrong country that we're in, or the wrong city.
This is 3:45. He opened at 3:30.
Yeah, he looked quite strong in his opener. Oh,
Just
he's-
folded
yeah,
over
he
a
was
little bit,
really
yeah.
struggling with that.
Got offline.
Unfortunately. Take the bar to 350 kilos, please, for Christian Slees.
Yeah, the
Slovakia.
suit just bent him out of shape a little bit,
Silbaum,
and he couldn't
Shinto
bring that back.
to get ready.
Christian Slisha, Slovakia.
Yeah, it's certainly not an easy thing to do, to squat down in the suit, and it's hard to sort of see when you're watching these guys, but that suit, it's just like the bench shirt, that suit is building up all that kinetic energy as you push through it, and it doesn't like to be pushed in that direction.
Now, Slisha's suit looked super tight. He really struggled pushing against it, and he didn't manage to take it to depth last time.
Yeah, nearly really tried to fold him over quite a bit. He's going to keep that chest up high. You can see that bar trying to fold him over again.
And that is a no lift, unfortunately.
So he's in trouble
Load the
now.
bar to 360
Yeah,
kilos.
you can see it's just folding him
Yeah, I
over.
think just there
Sweden,
got him out of shape, and I'm not certain he made depth that time either.
to get ready.
It's going to be quite difficult to recover from that. He's got quite a few things he's got to do technique-wise to fix that.
Eric Gunnam, he was one of our lifters that actually got a squat on the board first time out, and he's gone up 10 kilos to 360.
Yeah, he's open and moved well. It wasn't super fast, but it certainly never looked like it was in doubt or a struggle. If you're wondering why it's easier to move a 300 plus bar across the Eleiko rack than it is in your home gym, it's because it's got nice little rollers in the top there. Well, that one was certainly tougher. But he
But it's
gets
a
it
good
on the
lift.
board.
Load the bar to 370 kilos, please.
So
For
once we're
Marcus
through this
Silbaum,
last few
Masinto,
squats
Boom,
in
Bell
round 2, we
to
can
get
start
ready.
looking at placings, which we haven't been able to do up to now. We have Margot Silbaum coming out for his second try at 370. Missed this on depth first time.
370 kilos.
He's very focused on this one. Oh, he's struggling to get down there, isn't he? It's going to be close. It's not deep enough.
Not deep enough. Again.
All three referees called depth.
Do you put another few kilos on now and hope that will do it? His suit looks tight.
It does, but he's so shaky under the weights. I wouldn't like to be in the coach's position for this. Sergey Machinsoff, ROC.
Yeah, just didn't get himself into position in that first one. The bar shifted around a bit. He lost his balance. He just needs to take a little bit more time getting the bar exactly where he wants it and not decide close enough is good enough.
So it just flipped off his back last time.
Yeah, it looks like he's shifted the position a little bit this time. And he gets it on the board. You can see the bar in that time looked like it was just in a slightly different position. It wasn't quite as far down.
Drilled it really well.
Dalcrist, Cavallov, to get ready.
As you might be able to hear from the crowd, we have a Norwegian lifter coming out next. Asgar Hurl for 382.5.
82.5 kilos.
Well, clearly he needs no introduction here.
Oh, do you know, that was very deep. I wonder if that was deeper than he wanted to go.
It was deeper than I would usually see him go. See in the replay here. Yeah, he sucked that way further than all. Yeah, he'll be out. He'll definitely serve without any problems. They'll just tighten those wraps up a little bit, I think, just to account for that.
Ian Bell out next for 385.
And the bar is loaded for Ian Bell.
His opener looked good.
385 kilos.
Been a while between World Championship events. But back on the team now.
This moves him ahead with 2 lifts still to go in this round.
Oh, look at that.
Great.
He is looking strong today.
We are just waiting for the final decision.
It's a good lift.
3-1. 3-1. 3 white lights, he's on the board. That's a great lift for Bell.
He's looking very strong.
Okay, now we have Oliver Dalcrist coming out again for 387.5. He just lost his balance with this.
Yeah, look, he's so wanting to achieve here. He's such a nice young man. He did so well as a junior. He's a great lifter. Transition to 105s has been a little bit tough, just sort of getting everything together and feeling where everything is. He's set up a lot better on this one. Come on, Oliver, drive it through. That's it. Head up, chest up. There you go.
I think
Oh, it's going to be a tough call on that one.
Quite there at the top.
And he gets it on the board. He is going to be feeling really good right now after Lithuania not putting a bench on the board. He's not got a lot of room to move though. He'll be putting the 2.5 kilos on that, I think.
Here's Danilo Cavallo.
395 kilos.
He has added 15.
Yeah, the way that opener moved, I don't think 15 is a very big jump at all.
He competed at the Euros in August. He won at that competition. That was his first year out of the juniors. Wow.
He's so fast.
How fast was that? And it's a good lift.
They have
3 white lines.
calibrated everything perfectly, and he's able to drop so fast. The suit doesn't affect him.
And that's why he was junior world champion so many times.
Van Heuswelder, Zegbe and Gunnam.
And here are the standings as we go through to round 3. Cavallov is leading from Dalcvist, who went from nowhere straight into second place. But Ian Bell is only 2.5 kilos behind, and he is looking strong.
Well, it's going to come down to it.
He needs this lift.
Christian Slisha, Slovakia. This is his third attempt at 350.
Yeah, has himself in all sorts of trouble here.
The suit just seems so tight. He couldn't get it to depth on his first, and on his second he was fighting the suit and he did not manage to get up with it.
Oh.
So that's
again,
no lift.
he's going to be very, very disappointed with that.
355 kilos, please, for Jeroen Van Heuswelder, Belgium.
And I think you're right there. I think the suit is just too tight.
He can't get it down in position.
And yeah, and as you can see there, as he's trying to push himself down, it allows the bar to push him over.
So he cannot now make
The bar is loaded.
a total.
Belgium, 355 kilos.
Euron Van Heuswelder, 355. This matches the best he's done in competition. Actually, that's he's listed that as his PB, but I can see he did 365 in Dubai. That's a while ago now.
Well, his walkout was pretty good. He showed a lot of confidence in the walkout. He's moved very quick. What do the referees say? Yeah, we've got red
No
lights.
lift.
It just didn't look deep enough from where we were sitting.
Sorry. Load the bar to 360 kilos, please, for Dalcrist from Mongolia. Gunnam, Silbaum, Hurl, to get ready.
So we have
And the bar is
Dalcrist.
loaded for Dalcrist.
He's gone up. He's gone up quite a long way. He missed his second.
Yeah, I just didn't realise there he'd gone up so far. So he missed his second at 345, didn't he?
It just seemed to get offline. He didn't manage to stand up with it.
Well, strength-wise, I think 360 is well within his range. He moves the weight really well. But it's a big jump. And
He's
just
just
not
off
going to happen
again.
today. Again, I don't think he got down deep enough there. He didn't really seem to get the spring out that he wanted.
Load the bar to 365 kilos, please, for Eric Gunnam, Silbaum, Hurl, and Machinsoff to get ready.
That left him with the best of 330. Eric Gunnam, 365. He's made his first two squats.
And the bar is loaded.
Yeah, look, and I think this is a really smart third lift here.
It was tough his second, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
He's just put on the 5 kilos. When you're talking about 360 kilos and 365 kilos, the extra 5 kilos, it's not a hugely noticeable difference on your back.
So let's see how much energy he's got left for this. He has the energy. Does he have the
does
depth?
he have the depth though? He
He
does.
does. 2 to 1.
2 to 1.
A well-chosen third lift.
70 kilos, please, for Margus Silbaum, Hurl and Machinsoff to follow. And the
So
bar
next
is
we have
loaded.
Margus
Please make some
Silbaum.
noise.
He does not have a squat
Yeah.
on the board yet. He's coming out for the same weight.
Another man who's got himself into all sorts of trouble here.
All the time for you to help him. Come on, Margus.
I think he's in trouble again.
Yeah, he
I mean,
removes the
we
weight
didn't
so
have the best
easily.
yeah.
Sorry that is
No
nowhere near
lift.
all
Just
three
not
referees
getting
on the
down
red
there.
lights.
You see from the second he didn't even make parallel though.
Yeah, he's a long way off there. That's very disappointing. He'll be very disappointed with that.
Machinsoff.
So we have Asgar Hurl from Norway coming out for 382.5 again. He went very deep last time.
Yeah, I imagine they've tightened that up a little bit.
He's asked for more support. It wasn't like he wasn't getting any, and the roof's come off.
I wasn't sure if I was still talking. I couldn't hear myself. That's fantastic to see the crowd supporting him so much, though. Yeah, look, I imagine they would have tightened those wraps up a little bit. It just went a fraction deeper than usual. You know, when you're lifting 382.5 kilos, you want it.
Oh, he gave it a big effort, but it wasn't quite there.
He gave it everything he had.
Below the bar to 390 kilos, please, for Sergey Machinsoff, Russian Olympic.
So that leaves him with a best of 370 and a 5th place going into the rest of the competition.
And the bar is
So we have Sergey Machinsoff
put him into silver medal position in the squat with
for
lifters to follow.
390. This moves him up second. Only Cavallov has done more at this point.
Yeah, look, and I'm looking at his numbers there. He opened at 375, obviously had that problem. Got on his second. 390, I imagine, was his original second lift.
Yeah.
And it's a really smart move not to try and make up extra ground. He walks that out so easily.
It's a good fight, and the referees say
It's a good lift.
He's on the board.
So that puts him
With
into
390.
silver
Silver
temporarily.
for now. However, we have 3 more lifts to go before we hand those medals out.
Then Dalcrist. Cavallov will
We have
follow
2
them.
lifters coming out for 395 now. When 2 lifters call for the same weight, the lower lot number goes first, but the lighter body weight takes the advantage if they both make the weight.
Well,
So this is Bell, who's the lighter lifter in this
is
case? This is
Oliver
Dalcrist, isn't it?
Dalcrist, which is surprising. His 387.5 was tough. I honestly suspect him just to go to 390, but he's gone 395.
So Bell is in 4th place on squat at the moment. This will move him up to second. He's looked good today.
Yeah, he's looking very, very strong.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, he is so strong today.
Was it deep enough? It
He
was.
was.
He has his hands on the silver medal.
The bar remains at 395 kilos for Oliver Dalqvist. If he makes
That's
this,
great
he
lifting
moves
from me and
into
Bell
gold
today.
medal position on body weight. The bar
So
is
Oscar
loaded.
Oliver
Oliver
Dalcvist for
Sweden.
395. Yeah, his second was tough. This
It
is
was
a big
really
ask.
tough. I mean, I would have been putting 2.5 kilos on there, but you know the coaches know him better, and he knows himself better. Maybe he just needed that first one on the board. And this is well above his personal best, but bear in mind that personal best was set when he was at 93. Well, he looked better in the walkout in that one.
It's not taken that far enough, I don't think.
Looks strong.
Well, he had the strength, and he gets it on the board.
So
Well,
he moves up to
I
silver medal position
Take
now.
my foot out of my mouth.
In fact, he takes first from Cavallov for the moment, and this knocks Machinsoff off the podium for squat.
Ukraine, and this will take squat gold.
So Cavallov is coming out now
And the bar
for
is
405.
loaded.
It is amazing what the sniff of a medal can do
Yeah,
for you, isn't it?
Cavallov, Ukraine.
So Bell is guaranteed the squat bronze.
Dalcrist is guaranteed.
I can see the jury on their feet. So let's see what's happening with that. But in the meantime, we've got Danilo Cavallo.
A massive 405 kilograms.
Oh, he's lost his balance. He hasn't had this good start command though, so
He still has time. Oh, he settled that well.
wow.
Well, I am
Absolute
blown
brute
away
strength.
by that.
I would have expected him to re-rack that and take it again, and he's got
He didn't.
it.
He just regained his balance, settled
So-
himself out and said, give me the command.
So we as we're just in astonishment at that lift from Cavallov, we've heard that Dalcrist, his lift has been overturned on depth. So we now have Cavallov from Machinsoff, who is back in bronze medal position on squat. It's
Wow.
all happening today in Stavanger, Norway. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Join us back for bench. Welcome back to the 2021 World Open Equipped Powerlifting Championships. We're here in Stavanger, Norway, and we've had a really exciting squat competition in the 105s.
Yeah, it it really sort of got to the edge of your seat in the end there. Obviously, Dalcrist had thought he'd got the silver medal, but unfortunately that last lift of his was overturned on depth. So obviously the standings have changed a little bit with Cavallov in the gold medal with a monster 405
So
kilo
impressive
squat.
as well, because he got all kinds of out of shape with it, couldn't get his balance to start with. We expected him to re-rack and take it again.
That was a quite dumbfounded moment.
Yeah, but he just settled it on his back and
it's like, I'm
squatted
fine.
it.
Give me the squat command.
Yeah, that was very
Unbelievable.
impressive. And also, speaking of impressive, Ian Bell on 395, who's in second place at the moment, was just looking great. He got all three of his lifts in.
Yeah, he's looking really strong today, and he's looking like a really solid contender
Absolutely.
for the overall medals here as well. Just needs to really focus
In
on
fact,
putting
Gary,
it on.
if we look at the projected totals, both Cavallov and Bell are on
Yeah,
995.
he is right there. So his focus on bench now, this is not his strongest area.
Yeah.
So his focus is, you know what, I've just got to put some numbers on. If I can add 5 kilos to my total during bench, then I can come out in a deadlift.
Because
and he's
he's
a strong
got a
deadlifter.
massive deadlift. Absolutely. So, just a reminder that we have two groups of 105s running. So the lower group will take all their benches, and then we'll have the A group come out to take theirs. We have just a few seconds to go now before we get underway with the bench press part of the competition. And we have Lin Lin from Chinese Taipei coming out for 150 kilos.
Yeah, and a quick bench, this is tough. I mean, this is not unusual to see guys miss first lifts, miss second lifts, and then absolutely smoke them on their third. It's getting everything balanced, all the equipment balanced just right to make sure everything works properly.
So here he comes. Oh, there's a bit of confusion as to whether bar's loaded. Very relaxed lifter. He's very relaxed on his squats as well.
I think he's won the rack height award on this one as well. He has got a long way to move that bar.
Shirt didn't seem to give him much resistance.
Yeah, didn't do a whole lot in the shirt there. He's very strong.
So that's a good lift for him.
It's always nice in bench, quick bench, to get that
your first one
on
in,
the board.
absolutely.
If you can get it on the board,
Just say the
you
quick
know you're
lifter's
there.
prayer, just let me get one in. So here's Ricardo Fongaro. He's asked for 165.
and Brazil have had quite a successful week thus far.
Really have. 2 world champions
2
so
world
far.
champions. Really great. And some really fantastic lifting as well.
Got a little bit offline.
Yeah, that was really quite interesting. He got good speed off the chest. I think he got a bit of lateral movement. He covered it well.
Careful descent.
Yeah, he gets a
Seemed
really
to get
good touch
that
there.
really well. Oh, he rolled his right wrist as he
Ah.
pressed.
Well, he recovered that very
He
well.
did. So, Akbari Murdad, Iran, next for 175. PB's 230, so this should be comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, when you're opening bench and equipped, it's such a good plan to be maybe that little bit more conservative. So if things do go a little bit wrong in the shirt, you've still got enough to get through it.
Lovely. That is how you want your opener to look.
So we should also note too that Silbaum, Sleaze and Cummings didn't register a squat, so they cannot total.
So, Emanuel of Vickersland, Norway for 180. He benched 187.5 raw in Sweden.
Well, this shouldn't be a major issue with the shirt then. And it's
It really
not.
wasn't.
That was easy start for Royal. Referees say it's a good
That
leg.
absolutely rocketed.
190 kilos for Usha.
I think his biggest challenge there was hanging onto it at the top.
Zichevski, get ready.
There it goes. All the way to lockout.
Slowly for Mustafa Yazdani.
Mustafa Yazdani Kachui from Iran for 195. He did 215 in Dubai. But of course we don't know, that's 2 years ago now. We don't really know what he's been up to in the meantime.
Yeah, it could be a little bit challenging to sort of see how things are going. And training might be going great, absolutely fantastic, but things are different when you walk out on the world stage.
Slow and steady.
Yeah, that moved really well. Oh, he's got 2 red lights
Oh,
there, though.
interesting. So let's see if we can pick up.
200 kilos for Patrick Bolek. Zichevski and
I think his butt was up.
Yeah, I can't really tell very
Yeah.
well from that angle. It looks
doesn't-
like it may have.
It doesn't matter where you put the butt count. Not everyone sets up in the same place on the bench, so it's impossible to pick that up for everyone. But that looked like butt lift. So here's Patrick Boleck. Looked strong on his squats.
So, most important thing, getting this one on the board.
He clipped
just
the
clipped
rack.
the rack on the way up there. It was looking good too.
Yeah, that's a real shame.
below the body.
Clipping the rack in itself isn't a failure, but you can see he bangs in and it knocks his elbow out of line, and
Yeah,
just
it's a
can't
lot.
manage
It's a
it.
lot more recoverable in classic than it is in equipped, because it does knock you out of line, and the shirt then decides, well, I'm going this way. Seeing as how you give me the opportunity.
Evzen Zichevski for 205. First year out of the juniors. And he's got that shirt jacked a long way down already.
Oh, this is right up on his listed personal best. Oh, it's tough. Oh, and he just struggling to lock that out there.
Just won't quite go to lockout.
And you were dead right about that shirt there. It was really tightly jacked, wasn't it?
Yes,
You
and
see he's struggling, it flattens him out.
Below the body, 235 kilos for Jussi Kangas. Wesley, Akutsu, get ready.
yeah, it's difficult when you have to fight against the shirt like that to get the touch. There's no way you're coming off in the proper
Yeah,
line.
and you put yourself in a bit of a challenged position now, because it's quite challenging to release the shirt to get it right. You know, it's actually easier to put a fraction more weight on rather than releasing a shirt.
Yeah, if you release it, then have you still got enough to press the weight? That's the question. You can't take the weight down. It's a really fine judgment. This is UC Kangas Vieri for 235. just about managed to keep his head down, I think. It looked
Yeah,
like
I
it was going to
think he
come
was
up.
still making contact.
And the referees say it's a good lift. Nice opener for Jussi.
But he needs to keep an eye on that for future lifts.
250
Yeah,
for John
it's
Wesley.
you can't sort of sneak away with it when you haven't got any hair.
Yes.
Get ready.
John Wesley Cummings. Now, unfortunately, I don't think he registered a
Yeah,
squat.
he can't register a total, unfortunately.
So this is 250.
Barnes
It's not far off his PB of 257.5.
You know, look, and you can look at it when this happens. You don't register a squat, and you can't total. You can look at it in two ways. You can look at it and say, "That's it, my day's over," or you can look at it and say, "Well, you know what? There's no pressure now. I'm going to have some fun on bench and some deadlifts, and I'm just going to see what I can get today."
Using up quite a bit
Yeah, I
of
was
time.
just looking at the clock there. We've got 18 seconds left. Can he get the lock?
I think he's got it, but it was a tough press.
And the referees say it's a good
Yeah, he does. He gets it on the board. It was a tough press,
a lot of lateral.
but as we know, when there's so much you can do at the back now to get ready for the next one.
We'll start the second round with Lin and Fongara.
Takahito Akutsu, 255.
Takahito Akutsu, Japan.
Yeah, look, he opened on squats really well, but then just couldn't put the next two together.
Did 265 in Dubai.
Japanese, of course, great history and great world champions when it comes to bench press, quite a few. We saw some great battles bench press in Lithuania, the World Bench Press Championships. Well, we're down to 18 seconds and he hasn't taken the bar yet.
He's going to have to get a move
He
on. I'm
isn't.
surprised his coach isn't shouting at him to get on with it.
We've got 9 seconds left. Just snuck in there.
4 seconds to go. He's not going to be able
I
to.
don't know that
Oh,
right side
was-
locked out, did it?
And the referees say
It did
No.
not.
no lift. 2 yellow.
And I think he lifted right from the start, the butt lift right from the start of the press.
Start second round.
There was certainly lots of movement.
For Kong Lin. Fongara.
Yeah, there it
we
is.
go.
Get ready.
So he's going to have to fix that.
And I think we're through now to the second round.
Chinese Taipei.
And this is Kong Lin.
Yep, just gone up 5 kilos. Just chipping away, putting some numbers on the board. He has his own set of goals and targets for today.
No,
Well,
he'd got it wrong, so he hadn't got his line quite right. So
Yep.
rather than waste any energy, he said, no, take it off me.
yeah, there's not a... Oh, you can see his feet slip out. There's not a whole lot of resistance in that shirt at the moment either.
Below the bar, 172.5 for Ricardo Fongaro.
I
Murdad.
can see the jury on their feet. I don't think it'd be possible to overturn that lift. So, oh, I see. He's
Oh, we're fixing the
sorting
lights.
out the ref's lights. So we have Ricardo Fongaro from Brazil.
doesn't look like the best position there.
No, I don't think that's quite where he meant that to go.
He's just putting it back in the rack there for the guys, make it a bit easier for them.
Yeah, that did not go to plan at all.
Yeah, that did not land where he wanted it to land. You can see at the end it just moves so far forward. Shifts to the side. And he's all out of shape.
So this is Akbari Murdad. He made 175 for his opener. This is 190.
So it's well away from what he's capable of. But of course, powerlifting is not linear. That looked pretty solid. Everything looked pretty smooth. Nothing seemed to move around too much. And gets a good lift.
Yeah, gets a nice drive off the chest, follows it through. Yazdani, Mustafa Yazdani Kachuri from Iran for 195. He missed this. I think it was butt lift.
I'm just trying to recall. He's been strong today. Well, his hips didn't seem to move at all from that angle. And he gets 3 white lights.
He's on the board, he's got a bench in. However, Patrick Bolek has not. So he's coming out for the same weight again, 200 kilos.
Well, let's see if this one is a bit cleaner.
He just clipped the rack last time.
Yep, just needs to just shift his position a little bit.
Not be quite as far up the bench. Nice. I think he clipped it a little bit that time.
I think I heard it clip again. He gets it on the board. That is another challenging thing. We talk about the bench height and things like that quite often. But if you're not training on an Eleiko rack and you've got a gym rack where everything, you might usually set yourself up directly under the bar and that gives you enough room, but on an Eleiko rack, it tends not to.
So here's Emmanuel of Vickersland, local lifter. And he's asked for 205 for his second. This is quite a big jump. But as we noted, he was benching, his opener was less than he did raw.
Yeah, that was less than his raw lift.
In Sweden.
And you know what, it's not a bad move to put something on there that you know, no matter what happens, you're going to put it on the board.
I guess, but when the shirt, sometimes you think, well, maybe I couldn't even get that weight to my chest. So it looks like he's adjusted the shirt down. Now he's got a great position for 105. When you see that the bigger weight classes don't tend to have such good arches, but he's got a great position.
I don't think I can bend like that.
Oh, difficult touch. And he pushed that the wrong way, didn't he?
And this is exactly what you just talked about, that even that really easy opener hasn't given them the chance to really calibrate where the shirt is.
Yeah.
Because you can't really calibrate from 180 to 205.
But he pushed directly upwards there instead of back. So hopefully he gets that on his next time. Evzen Zichevski, 205 for the second time of asking.
wrestling competition.
He is going to want to get this on the board. Now his shirt, I don't know if they've released it a little bit actually.
Oh,
It's
it's tough
still
at the
difficult
top.
at the top, isn't it?
I'm not entirely sure whether he got that there in the end. No, he didn't. Has he lifted the butt again? Yeah.
Yeah, butts up.
Well, he's got himself in a bit of an awkward position now.
Finish lifter out next, Jussi Kangas Vieri for 240 kilos. He's only gone up 5.
Yeah, this is just about adding some numbers. Yeah, his opener wasn't overly bad. I think it moved
No,
quite
I
well.
think it moved quite well. And that just moved on his chest
Yeah, you
right
can
at
see
the
it
last
just
second.
just at the very last second there. You can see it shift around. It's such a hard part of the equipped bench is controlling that shirt.
Takahito Akutsu, Wesley, Fongaro, get ready. Bar is loaded for
Takahito Akutsu, he missed 255 on his opener. Just on butt lift, I think.
Put your hands together for Mr.
Oh, he was struggling at lockout, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he was all over the shop in the end. Looks like they've pulled that shirt down a bit further on this one.
It does look like it's a long way down.
I think they're probably trying to go for a little bit more speed off the chest. So he doesn't wear a belt. I'm interested to see if his shirt slides up at all.
I've never understood how anyone can keep a shirt in place without a belt. Mine just heads north and throttles me without one.
Well, you can get yourself a good SBD belt to hold that in place.
Certainly have. That looked good.
It did the job though.
And as you can see, his shirt's not moved. He's kept that down really well. Oh, is it butt lift
I
again?
think it is. It's already starting to shift there.
257.5 kilos for John Wesley. Bar is loaded.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there it
miles
is.
off.
For John Wesley.
He's in trouble now.
Fongaro, Vickersland, get ready.
John Wesley Cummings, 257.5.
Well, this is his personal best. He can't register a total, so it's time to have some fun. And see if he can take home a personal best on bench press.
Being looked after today by Jeff Butt and Ryan Stinn, so he is in good
He's in
hands.
very good hands, isn't he?
Wow,
Oh,
he's
he just
fighting,
couldn't
but
quite
not
get there.
quite.
I think he'll get that on the third, though. I think they'll just pull the shirt down just a smidge to give him
Maybe,
just a little
maybe.
bit more
But
speed.
his opener was tough.
It was.
So now we are through to the... We didn't see Lin come out, did we? Lin has scratched.
Yeah, Lin has scratched his third lift.
So this is Ricardo Fongaro. He missed 172.5 for his second. Going to come out and have another go at it.
We talk about athletes scratching their last lift. In bench, in a group this size, it's actually not too bad.
Yeah.
You're not wrapping anything. In fact, some of the guys will probably thank you for it, so they're not standing around for so long in their
It's
shirts.
exhausting just standing around in a bench shirt.
But in squat, when there's so much wrapping to be done, it can really mess things up.
Yeah, it's no good suddenly discovering you should have been rapping a minute ago. So here's Ricardo. 172.5 for the second time of asking. He's not looked comfortable on bench today. No.
Yeah, and it's just not going to happen. That shirt is just shifting him around.
But he got his opener, so he's on the board.
Flight 2 lifters, you have 5 more lifts in which to change your
His
opening.
touch wasn't too bad.
5 more lifts, thank you.
For the bar, 205 kilos for Euron
Yeah, but he got all out of shape there.
Emmanuel of Vickersland from Norway next for 205. Missed this on his second.
Euron Vickersland, Norway.
Oh, he pushed it straight up. I think
Yeah.
that's what the issue was there. It just went in the wrong direction.
I just saw the Brazilian coach over at the jury panel.
I was wondering, I think the lifter was looking at the spotter as though to say they took it too early, but I'm not sure that's really the case. Wow.
Well,
I think he got it in the right direction
he
this
fixed
time.
that.
He absolutely did. Oh!
What has he got here? We've got yellow cards.
butt lift.
Yeah.
Butt lift.
What a shame.
It is, because that was super easy.
Well, I don't think the Brazilian coach got much sympathy from the jury because I haven't seen any movement.
No.
Oh,
Ah,
hang
no,
on.
we do.
We have.
We've just heard that he will be given a new attempt at the end of this round. So they do feel like the spotter took it too early.
Yeah,
It's a
look,
difficult
it's a-
judgment for the spotters.
It's a difficult judgment. It's a difficult judgment for everyone because the spotters, you know, the first thing on their mind is lifter
Keeping
safety.
you safe, absolutely. Evzen Zichevski, Czechia. He needs this to stay in the competition. This is 205 for the third time of asking.
Well, he just hasn't looked like.
He's been out of shape and he's got his butt
Oh,
up
it
on the
doesn't look
second
great
one.
that time either.
And that's... Well, he's got it to the
Well,
top.
he gets it there. I'm not sure if it's going to. No, again,
No,
no
so
lift.
he is now out.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, his
right off the
butt was
bench
up.
before he even got
Yeah.
the press.
That's unusual to be so far up as you start your descent. So, yeah, that's a shame.
So he will not total now.
Akbari Murdad, Iran, 205.
So he's gone 2 from 2 so far. Which is pretty unusual in this round.
Yeah, he's the only one, isn't he? It's a big jump though, 15 kilos. He went up 15 kilos from his first to his second. He's gone up
Yeah,
another
second
15.
to third, that's a big jump though.
It is. But he does list his PB as 230.
I think the
that's
15
not
kilos was just a bit much.
Just couldn't get it through the sticking point.
Yeah, it was a big jump, 15 kilos.
Patrick Bolek, 207.5.
So missed his opener, but then rectified that on the second, and I imagine 207.5 is what he had planned to do for his second.
Needs to keep himself away from the rack.
Yeah, he clipped it on the second one a fraction as
Very-
well, but
very
didn't seem to
small
bother him
amount,
too
but-
much.
Yeah.
He's clipping it again.
He needs to
And
be.
It's a really difficult thing to do because when you're training in a different environment and that rack isn't really an issue, then you've got to readjust. But when you come here to the World Championships, you've got to not be afraid to set yourself down the bench a little bit. You've got a great spotting crew that'll hand you the bar no matter where you are on that bench.
So we have Mostafa Yazdani Kachuri from Iran for 207.5.
And the clock is ticking down.
Here he comes.
Is he coming? Yep.
Here he is.
Let's go,
In a
Mustafa.
very relaxed way.
He
The
is.
graphic says bench press rank 43, but we still have another 10 lifters
That's right.
to come out.
Yep. So don't read too much into those rankings at the moment. We've still got more to go.
And
Oh, he's still
fighting
pushing
through.
it. Oh, can he get it
What
there?
a battle. Doesn't look
I
like
don't think he
could.
quite got it there.
Sorry, no lift.
Not quite.
At a grave of 10.
But he certainly gave it everything he had, didn't he?
Kilos for Jussi Kangas Vieri. Akutsu and Kong Lin for Wesley.
Yeah, I think his butt lifted
Like
there as
2
well.
lifters after Kangas Vieri's
Yeah, it's
lift,
coming off the bench.
There will be no more changes to open.
You see Kangas Vieri, Finland,
Bar is loaded to Jussi
for
Kangas
240. He
Vieri.
missed this last time.
Let's go, Jussi.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because he started at 235. He only went the 5 kilo jump for the second. So let's hope they've got everything balanced out perfectly for this one.
Looks fired up though.
Right, now's the time to start bringing some intensity.
Not today.
No, not this one.
No lift.
Like 2 lifters, no more changes to openers. No more changes.
255
Yeah, he just didn't get the
for
drive of the
Takahito
position
Akutsu.
and he
You're
waved
fine.
it off.
People, you know what to do.
So Takahito Akutsu.
Bar is loaded
Akutsu.
for Takahito
We
Akutsu.
don't really expect this from him.
He needs you to stay in the competition.
No, I don't think he sort of expected to be in this position
Needs
either.
your help.
He is
Let's
in
make
all
some
sorts of
noise
trouble
for
now.
Mr. Vanguard.
Come on, Akutsu.
I don't recall him missing like this before.
Yeah, he's an experienced lifter, and of course, a very experienced bench presser as well.
You got the power. Nice and easy now.
It's been butt lift both times.
Yeah.
So as we've spoken about before, if he's been training over lockdown on a bench that isn't competition standard height, then you are not calibrated for.
Yeah, and it's going to be difficult to fix because it wasn't a little bit. Wow, that shirt is jacked. Can he lock it? I don't know if he has.
Sure.
No
And he is
lift.
out of the competition.
So that is no total to be registered for that man. That is extremely disappointing.
John Wesley. After him, Fongara. And then we start.
And his butt was lifting there again
Yeah.
as well.
Loaded for John
We are
Wesley.
losing lifters at a rate of knots.
Is that 5 now, I think, the current total?
I'm not sure. We've got quite a big scoreboard, so it's hard to see the ones at the bottom. We have John Wesley Cummings for 257.5. Second time of asking. It just seemed too heavy.
Yeah, so this is equal to his personal best.
But of course, doing your best in a competition that's halfway around the world from where you live.
Very different than doing your best at home.
Absolutely.
And we talk about powerlifting not being linear, and that is another thing we're talking about. You can't expect your numbers to go up every competition. Oh, can he squeeze it to the top?
That's a real battle.
And a race.
Not quite today.
It was almost there.
72.5 kilos for Ricardo Fongaro.
I think he was lifting off the
I
bench
think
quite a
he
bit as
was,
well.
yeah.
And after that, we start second group.
So he's having a rough day. He's 1 for 6 right now.
Yeah, so he is now, and then
Bar is loaded for Ricardo
I guess now he comes out for deadlifts and tries to do the best he can and get a personal best there.
So this is another attempt at his third. He felt that the spotters took it too early. It seemed to me that it was going down on that side.
Yeah, look, it's
but
absolutely no fault of the spotters. They're doing a fantastic job. sometimes they just have to react and deal with it after.
And I think this will be a big ask for him. This is his 4th bench now, and he's missed this weight twice.
Yeah, and how much does this then affect his deadlift? I think his butt is way off the bench. I
So
couldn't
that is
see it,
no
but I
way.
can see his hips moving.
Yeah.
But a nice try.
If his butt's staying on the bench, I will be absolutely amazed.
But you know, at least the lifter now feels like he's had a fair treatment.
Well, and that's exactly right.
Gunnam, Slisha, and Bell.
But yeah, that was just too heavy today.
Yeah. You know, and the coach did the right thing. Walked to the jury panel, had a discussion with them.
So here's Margus Silbaum, Estonia, for 125. This is a long way down from his best. He didn't manage to make a successful squat.
Yeah, this is quite interesting.
He's in a t-shirt, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he's carrying a small injury or something like that, because
I think-
125 raw is even a warm-up lift thing.
I think he's, but I think he's putting a raw lift in. He's going to go at the back now, and he's going to have to be quick to get a shirt on and get it working. But time and again, we see people open raw, and they just cannot get the shirt working when they come out.
Yeah, look, and this is the thing. I mean, we talk about this all the time, and you talk about this, that, you know, it sometimes takes the 3 lifts to calibrate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're coming out raw in your opener,
Then you do not have those 3. Eric Gunnam, Sweden, for 230. He's got a 245 personal best listed, but that was a few years ago now. Don't think he's done better than 232.5 of late. But maybe he will today, because that 230
that
looked good.
pretty good. And he's
Oh,
got
no.
one left there.
So let's see from the side. Oh, he was miles
up.
off.
Slisha, Slovakia, 240. Next out, and the bar is loaded.
So
Bell, Hull, Van
that's a shame.
Heuswelder.
So we got Christian Slisha.
So,
Also
yeah, unfortunately.
didn't get a squat in. It just seemed like his suit was too tight. So let's hope his bench shirt's working for him a little bit better. But he's still opening on his own PB of 240.
Well, let's hope that's not being too ambitious.
Oh, it's gone
No,
down.
that's not going to keep moving. Let's have a look at the replay on that. Looked like he got good speed off the chest. I'm just wondering if he got out of direction there. Hard to see.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get...
Yeah, he was quite straight there. Wasn't a lot of backward motion on that.
Now here's Ian Bell. He took the silver, I think, on squat.
Yeah, now he was really strong in squat. His projected totals looking fantastic. His focus here is not about winning bench. His focus here is just, I want to add 5 kilos, maybe 7.5.
As many kilos
Whatever
as he
I
can
can get
to
on
take
there
in, so he
without
can
risking it.
use his big deadlift. I mean, we do see this all the time, don't we? Big deadlifters, they're so far behind at subtotal, and they just rocket into...
Yeah, you've got to
podium
play to your
places.
strengths.
So this is 240 for Ian. His PB is 265. But as you say, he's just going to want to get every kilo he can to build that total.
And
that
that
looked
is
good.
how it needed to start. He gets it on the board. And I hope that what he does now is just taking, you know, reasonable increments that are, you know, 80%ers, 90%ers of getting on the board, so he can just chip away and be in the race.
Asgar Hurl from Norway. Didn't have the best time on squad. I think he only got his opener.
Asgar Hurl, Norway, 250 kilos.
Now, let's have a look and see how this bench moves.
think it's going to go over the top. You
Yep.
could see his wrists weren't in the best position. He compromised his position
Yeah,
to
that
get
was
the
really,
touch.
really well spotted there. We're not going to see it very well, but you
No.
can see it on the left-hand side as it came down
A
there.
little bit.
His wrists are
But it's
way back.
rotated back, and that was always going to go over the top.
Machinsoff, Dalcrist, Cavallov to get ready.
So this is Jeroen Van Heuswelder, Belgium. 255 kilos on the bar. He didn't have the best time on squat either. Only got his second in, I think.
Yeah, just 1 from 3.
The bar is loaded. Jeroen Van Heuswelder, Belgium.
And just a note, the reason Joe is so good at picking these things is she's also a double world champion and one best lifter in Lithuania
In the M2s.
in the M2s only a couple of weeks ago. So she has plenty of experience in both classic and equipped.
Yeah, you know, all these things that go wrong, it's gone wrong for me.
We've all been through them.
Absolutely. Van Heuswelder, 255. He is not looking comfortable.
He just doesn't look like he likes that weight.
Oh, and the touch is hard. No.
Yeah. And you can see how perfectly he set his safeties then, didn't you? I mean, the spotters were quick, but we've got safety bars as well. Yeah, it was just never looking like it was going to push in the right direction. He struggled so much to get that through to the touch point.
So here's Sergey Machinsoff. He took the bronze on squat, I think, and this is 260.
Yeah, he had a tough time in the opening squat. It just didn't sit in his back properly and sort of flipped off. But he did not let it bother him.
Gets the touch. Yeah, that's a
You
professional
know,
looking
that was a
bench.
really good demonstration of that explosive power off the chest. I mean, we talk to athletes about that all the time. You know, he gets that press command and it's just that enormous aggressive explosion, then chasing the shirt all the way through.
So here comes Oliver Dalcrist for 280 for his opener.
I'm just trying to remember what he opened at in Lithuania
Oh, was
a
it
couple of weeks ago.
287?
Yeah, he had a lot of problems. He opened quite high. His personal best is lifted at 282.5. We need to bear in mind that he was lifting the 93s then. This is his first year in the 105s.
I'm looking at an opener of 327.5. That doesn't seem...
Yeah, no, I do recall it was something.
Okay, that seems like a lot. Oh dear.
Oh, he's struggling at the top.
He can't get that all the way to lockout.
Just needs a bit more speed off his chest there. Wouldn't be too concerned about that. He will make a few adjustments there. He looks
That
like
is the thing in a shirt, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot you can do.
what he looks this week on bench compared to Lithuania. He looks like he's getting used to being 105 and used to being in the equipment at this size. It's quite a big adjustment to change weight classes in equipped.
So here's Danilo Cavallo, Ukraine, for 290.
Hit the massive squat of 405.
And he made that error. He got out of balance, didn't he? And then just brought it back, settled himself. He is such a good lifter. Well, oh, look at that.
And
Beautiful.
again, another great example of that explosive power.
And that's why he was junior world champion so many
That's it.
times. He's just into the open now.
Mongolia, final lifter out in the first
Now
round.
here is Zegve. He didn't make a successful bench in Lithuania, but he opened there at 330, and this is
Yeah,
310.
he's learnt from that.
He only got one of his squats in, I think. I think he just got his opener.
So he's learnt from his experience at World Bench. He's really taking his time here.
Again, it just looked to roll a little bit on his chest, but it... Yep,
Yeah,
he's on the board.
He seemed to manage it okay.
Didn't
He'll be
trouble
happy
him
with
at
that.
all. Absolutely. Just as he touched, it just seemed to move a little
No, you
bit.
can see it right there.
Eric Gunnam, then Slisha, Hurl and Bell.
It takes a lot of focus and strength when it moves like that in an equipped bench.
Okay, so we are already through to round 2. Once we start to get through this round, we can look at placings, both in the bench press competition, but also the overall.
Yeah, we've got 5 athletes yet to register a bench.
So this is Eric Gunnam for 230 again.
Yeah, it moved well off his chest, but he just couldn't get it to lock out. And I think the key here, I think they will have pulled the shirt just a smidge.
I think he had butt lift.
Oh, he has too as well, yeah. So he couldn't lock, he got butt lift. That looks
That looked
better.
good. See from the side.
Oh, again.
Oh, is it the
I
same
really
again?
hope he lives somewhere that's not very close to the Lico Training Centre in Sweden.
Oh, his butt's miles off.
40 kilos, please, for Christian Slisha.
Yeah, and when it's that far off, it's a hard thing to fix.
It really is.
To get ready.
And here we have Christian Slisha.
Who's also missed his opener.
He just seemed...
Come on, let's get
It
behind
just seemed a
Christian.
bit heavy. So maybe they've adjusted the shirt.
Well,
Can't hear you.
he's opening at his listed personal best.
And given that he didn't manage to register a successful squat, that seems a bit risky. He's hit the rack, hasn't he?
Yeah, you just can't keep it moving.
No lift, unfortunately. Low the bar to 250 kilos, please, for Ascar Hill, Norway, Bell Van Heuswelder,
Yeah,
Machinsoff.
So-
it just does look like it's too much.
And the bar is loaded for Ascar. 250 kilos.
So here is the hometown hero, Asgar Hurl from Norway for 250. Missed
Yeah.
this on his first. He got his wrists all out of shape and it just went over the top as he pressed.
He has got plenty of fans, and he's also got enough experience to know how to fix this.
That was way better.
Yes, look at that. Put everything together that time.
And that's a
There he
good
goes.
3 white lights.
And that's moved himself up to 5th place in the bench and 5th overall.
For Ian Bell.
Not a bad effort.
Managed to keep everything planted, got that all the way to the top.
Dalcrist to get ready.
Now here's Ian Bell. He slipped, his placing slipped a couple, but he was never going to be at the top of the rankings for bench. So he's just putting as many kilos as he can, knowing that he can pull that gap back
Yeah,
on
this
his
is a
deadlift.
really smart move.
Yeah.
You know, we said earlier, 5, maybe 7.5 kilos on this. Just to improve the probability of a good lift. He wants to be able to walk away from the bench with adding something. Because he is going to need every little bit he can get.
He's in the fight for the title, he really is. Oh, that's a difficult
Oh,
lockout. I
he
think
gets
he's
it
got
there.
it.
And he's got a no
Right,
lift here.
so
Let's have a look.
if it's from all 3 referees,
He cannot
I
protest.
don't think we're going to see that back. That's a shame,
So,
because I'm not sure what that
yeah,
was for.
so it's 3 red lights, which means he cannot challenge that.
But if it's from all 3 referees, you know, if 3 referees turn down your lift, there was something wrong
Yeah,
with
there's
it.
something wrong.
So we have Jeroen Van Heuswelder from Belgium looking for 255 again.
Yeah, there's a lot of red on this board.
He had a really difficult touch on his first.
And we talked about Silbaum maybe having an injury when he opened at 125. He has scratched his last 2 benches, which I'm guessing maybe that was the issue.
And it's a difficult touch again.
Very difficult.
He's
Well,
got it,
it
though,
looks
I
like he got
think.
to the top on that one. And it's on the board.
He has.
3 wide line. Local bar to 272.5.
So he is clinging onto that.
Dalcrist,
I think he got his second squat in. He's got his second bench
So
in.
Benchies, I hope he gets his first, second, and third deadlift.
That would be nice.
Not just his second.
We have Sergey Machinsoff.
272.5.
He won in Dubai in this class, so he's the reigning world champion.
Yeah, he's a very well established lifter in the 105s. I mean, they haven't even really jacked the shirt a huge amount in this one. He is just very, very strong.
Well, there's a lot to be said for just wearing the shirt properly. Oh, that's a difficult touch, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the way the shirt was set, it didn't look like it was going to be that difficult, but... Oh, that was a lot of energy to get that down
Yeah, he was
there.
down there a long time, but just couldn't keep it still.
I can't recall what his classic bench personal best is.
Haven't seen him lift classic for a
It's
long
It's
time.
been a very long time.
Cavallov does Zegbe to get ready.
Yeah, that was a long time to be down there. It's no surprise, really, that he didn't manage to get that up. Oliver Dalchrist, 280.
Yeah, look, I think this will be fine. He just needs to get his head in the right position now.
Just couldn't quite get it to lock out last time.
Yeah, he's a very, very strong lifter. But it is tough moving into a higher weight class in equipped. You know, all of a sudden you've got new shirts and different shirts and everything fits differently and everything feels different. So it can take a bit of time to get everything right. That's more like it.
That looked great.
That is the Oliver we remember winning World Junior Championships left, right and centre. And he is going to be feeling better now. His spirits are going to lift.
Danilo Cavallo, Ukraine,
Yeah, he really needed that to go his way after the week he had in Lithuania.
Danilo Cavallo, 302.5. We're right up against his PB now. He is such a strong lifter.
Yeah, there's two very strong lifters here. Well, three very, very strong lifters.
I think it's going to come down to him and Bell at the end, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and I love that Ian Bell is here putting the pressure on.
That looks strong. Referees say good
Good
lift.
lift. That pushes Danny out in front now.
Final lifter in the second round was the bar. 320 kilos, please.
just about managed to keep his butt down. He was moving all over the place, kept contact.
I'm just looking at the board there, and if you look at the prediction, Cavallov and Bell are still
Tight.
neck and neck.
Or maybe that's Bell's game plan. Maybe he's just looking to match the jumps.
20 kilos. Please show some support.
But yeah, but Bell missed his second, didn't he?
Yeah, and yeah, that could come back to hurt him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, did he put too much? Should he have just gone with 5 kilos and just take those really little jumps? It's always hard to know which way to go. And equipped is so much more challenging to sort of figure out those second and thirds.
So we have Zegve on the platform right now, 320. He's only 4 kilos off the world record.
And that was set back in 2018 in Pilsen, I think.
That looks like he's got it.
And referee
He has.
says, good luck. 3 white lights.
Victor Leskovets from Ukraine owns that world record,
For Eric Gunnam.
I think, 2018 in Pilsen.
Bell and Hull to get ready.
And that was the last lift in round 2. So we can see now that Zegve is leading the bench press competition with Cavallov and Dalcrist behind him. And this is Gunnam now, Eric Gunnam for 230. He has just seemed unable to keep his butt down.
He is just in a world of trouble, and the problem is it's not just a tiny little bit off the bench,
He's miles off.
which is a really hard thing to fix on the fly. If it was just a little bit, you could manage it.
Now if he could finish this off, he hasn't seemed.
Oh, he just can't finish it.
So that takes him out.
Oh, he is going to be feeling extremely disappointed with that.
And even then, he was off straight away.
Christian is in exactly the same position.
So that's tough to see. And we have Christian Slisha in exactly the same position there. He's put 5 kilos more on though.
Yeah, has he decided to try and get a bit of an easier touch?
He has looked like his equipment's very, very tight all
And he
day.
had the similar problem in the squats, didn't he?
So a little bit more weight might help him. Touch looks better. But he
No,
can't
he's waved
press
it away, I think. Wow, he is going to be disappointed. He is not having a good day.
Load the bar to 252.5 kilos, please.
I think as far as bad days go, that would have to be at the top.
I think there's a lot of people having one.
Sergey Machinsoff to get ready, and the bar is loaded.
So is that, what is that? Is that 6 lifters out now?
I think we have, yeah, that's 6 lifters out of the competition now.
So here's Ian Bell for 252 again. We didn't get the replay, so we didn't manage to pick up what the fail was.
Yeah,
last
I mean,
time.
I'm thinking his butt must have delivered because from the front end everything looked okay. But he needs this 7.5 kilos.
Yeah.
12.5 kilos. Because he opened at 240. Oh, I think his butt
I
lifted
think
there
his
as
butt's
well.
up, yeah. I think you're right.
Oh, no,
2 to 1.
he got
He's
that one on
done
the
it.
board. He really needed that.
Absolutely pogoed off the platform.
For Asgar Hurl, Norway, Machinsoff and Jan Ries.
So
Well,
those were kilos he really needed to stay in contention.
He really did. Because he missed his second, he didn't get to make the extra. And that's just allowed a little bit of breathing space for Cavallov.
2.5 kilos.
Asgar Hurl, Norway for 262.5. Gone up 12.5. This will move him up to 4th in bench. And that is not going to lock out.
Just couldn't quite push it all the way through.
For Asgar
You look at that sea of red, and it just demonstrates how hard these guys are pushing themselves right on the edge every lift.
And it also demonstrates that it's not as easy as just putting some equipment on and lifting more weight. This is a hard discipline.
Yeah, it's often a big misconception, isn't it? You know, you can put some equipment on and add 30 kilos to your squat and 20 kilos to your bench. It just doesn't work like that.
Sergey
Machinsoff, 275. Interesting, he's just put another 2.5 on.
Dalcrist, Cavallov.
He had a difficult touch, but is 2.5 going to make much difference?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
If it's the weights, then maybe another 5. But it's a difficult thing, isn't it? You
look,
put another 5 on to get the touch.
It's tough because
can you press
I
it?
look at him and I look at his coach, and these guys have got so much experience between the two of them. You know, this isn't their first championship, so I imagine they've had some sort of a plan.
And he
It's
still
still
can't
tough.
get down there. He's got it.
Oh, he just
no,
can't
not
quite get it there, though. I just don't think the 2.5 was enough.
So I think that's going to come back to the end of the competition now, and he's going to regret losing those few kilos.
Well, you know, when you've got a competition that's this tight, every couple of kilos counts, doesn't it?
So next up we have Euron Van Heuswelder. He's gone up 20 kilos. And his second looked tough.
That is a big jump.
It is.
And what, I mean, is this...
It
doesn't move
won't
him
get
to
him
the
on
medals.
podium. It will move him up a place. He's going to have to... He's being patient with the touch.
I don't know about this. No.
It's not going anywhere.
That was a really interesting decision. It doesn't really change his projections. It doesn't put him on the podium. Personal goal, perhaps.
Yeah. Probably where he wanted to end up if he'd got 255 for his opener. So we are through to the pointy end now. We have Oliver Dalcrist coming out for 290.
Yeah, look, he made a bit of a mess of his first one at
But his
280.
second looked great.
He put it all together. It was the Oliver we know and we've seen before. I mean, he didn't win multiple World Junior Championships for being average.
So this won't change his position on bench. He's guaranteed the bench bronze.
He's looking good again.
And the referees say
Oh, no lift. I'm guessing he's got some butt lift there.
See that back.
7.5 kilos, please, for Danilo Cavallo.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame, but he'll be feeling good. He got one on the board. He lifted that, got through it.
And he's in second place
Danilo Cavallo,
at subtotal.
Yeah, he is right up there in the mix.
And here comes Danny Cavallov. He's gone up 5. He's really being challenged by Ian Bell at this point.
And
So he's going to want
I
all
think
the...
this 5 kilos is a really good decision. I think if he wasn't being challenged, he might have gone up a bit further. I think he's got it to the top.
Oh, that looks strong, and the referees
It looks good from
say
where I'm sitting. It is.
2 to 1, a good lift.
Yeah, I think if he wasn't being challenged, you might have seen him push a bit further. But he's read the board and he goes, you know what, this guy's right here. I just need to get some numbers on the board.
So we have a world record attempt coming up. We have Tumen Yargal Dashzegeve.
Looking for 325. Current world record 324. He's only set a couple of years, a few years back in 2018, I believe. No. It's a big, big call. He did 320. It wasn't super clean.
Oh, it's looking good.
It moved fast. Did he lock out? He does. He takes the world record
That
at
is a
3:25.
New world record and the bench press gold for Tumiyagal Dashzegre. Absolutely superb.
What a way to finish.
Yeah, as we can just see. Oh, we have a Cavallov.
Cavallov's lift has been overturned to no lift.
Wow, that leaves him and projected totals neck and neck with Ian Bell.
They're right there.
Wow. So those are the standings as we go into, in fact, those are the bench results on the screen at the moment, with Dash Zegve with his new world record and his gold medal. Cavallov is now on 302.5 and Dalcrist in bronze medal position on 280. We are going to take a very short 10-minute break now, and you will really want to be back here for
You
deadlift.
don't want to miss this.
We are back at the World Open Equipped Powerlifting Championships here in Stavanger, Norway. My name's Jo Whiteley, I'm here with Gary Williams, and we've seen some really dramatic lifting in the 105 kilo class.
It's been absolutely out of control. Obviously, we just finished on a world record. But what's really amazing is we've got 6 lifters that cannot register a total in this group now. So it's been really tough out there. On top of that, Ian Bell, who we really haven't seen compete for such a long time in the international scene, has come in here and he is laying down the gauntlet. He has said to the Ukrainian, you know what? I've come back and I want some gold as well. It is going to be tough for him, and every kilo is going to count.
It is, and you find with big deadlifters like Ian, they fly under the radar a little bit. They kind of drop out of contention as subtotal. They just filter the way down the pack. He's sitting in 5th at the moment, but really he's going to shoot into the lead with his opener.
He really is a big deadlifter as well. If you compare his deadlifts to Cavallov, I mean, they're not even close.
Yeah, we can see he's got his opener set right now at 360. He's still got plenty of time to change that if things aren't going well.
So it'll be very interesting to see this come down to a wire, but it's been tough competition, and we've already seen so many guys drop out of being able to put a total in. This opening deadlift is going to be so important. And not only important to get the number on the board, it sends a message to the rest of the competition that I've got a lot more left in my tank.
So here are the standings on your screen at the minute. Cavallov is leading from Dalcrist from Zegve, and Ian Bell's all the way down there in 5th. But if he puts that 360 on the board, he goes straight into the lead, and I think he's lighter. No, he isn't. He's 300 grams heavier than Cavallov, but he'll be right there on the same total as him.
And this is where it's really important that you've got a coaching team that's reading the scoreboard all the way through, keeping on top of things, looking into the future and getting the plan right.
Ricardo Fongaro, Brazil. He didn't have a great time on bench, so let's hope he's reset. And he's come out now for 225. A little bit of a difficulty through the transition.
The lockout wasn't super easy, but he gets it there.
Yep, he's on the board. He has a total.
And that's the whole thing about getting that first deadlift. It solidifies that total.
John Wesley Cummings from Canada. He's had a tough day. He's 1 for 6 right now. He's opening at 230, which is well below his PB of 290. So hopefully this moves quickly.
Yeah, and you can see there on his screen here, he's put a change in for his opening deadlift earlier. And I'm just wondering if that was because everything's been such a rough day today.
I think gravity's been turned up for him today, so just put that opener down.
Yeah, I mean, having a number of failed lifts and a bad run and not being able to total really takes it out of you.
Oh, and he tipped forward. Is that going to be a problem?
The bar. It did.
Yes.
You can see, you know, I gotta love his attitude. He walked off the platform then with a bit of a smile. It was almost like I knew that would happen. What else can go wrong today?
Strength is there. So we have Takahito Akutsu. He bombed on bench. This is not what we usually see from him. He could not keep his butt on the bench.
Yeah, you know what? He got off such a great start today. His opening squat looked on fire, and then he just couldn't put the next ones together.
So he also made a change to his opener. I would expect that he put it down.
Yeah, so we can see who has made changes, but we can't see whether they went up or down unless we caught the change.
Look good.
Well, he looks like he gets that one on the board. He does.
Akbari Murdad next from Iran. He's opening with 275. 5 red plates on the bar.
So this should be well within reach. Very nice opening lift, moved very easily.
And it's a good lift for Akbari. Nice start.
Now, I know these guys make this look easy,
Evzen Zichevski.
but if you want to know what it feels like to lift 280 kilos, load it up on a deadlift bar and just see if you can actually move it at all.
It's true, we get an odd perspective from seeing these huge weights moved around, but he's limping, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done something somewhere along the line.
Evzen Zichevski.
I'm curious how this is going to affect his squat, his deadlift, given he's a sumo deadlifter.
He didn't manage to get a. Yeah, that's nice and
Well,
easy.
he moved that pretty well.
You got to wonder whether he's going to come out again, though.
Yeah,
he's not
he
looking.
looks like a
great, is
turdy.
he?
Difficult to tell where he sort of twinged or pulled something.
Kangas Vieri and Vickersland. Get ready.
Yeah, he's not happy though. I would expect him to scratch. There's no point coming out. He didn't make a bench. He can't make a
we
total.
certainly don't want to see anyone injure themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes you get to the end of the day and a day like this, and it's not necessarily injury, but if you push it further, it can turn into one.
Here's Patrick Boleck for 285. He had a difficult time on the bench. He just kept clipping the rack. He looked strong, but just couldn't quite get his position right to get the bar past the hooks.
Yeah, it's it is a difficult thing. If you don't have access to Eleiko equipment.
Fast.
Well, he moved that very, very well.
Below the bar, 300 kilos for Jussi Kangas Vieri.
Yep, sits in well. Nice quick pull.
Get ready.
You see Kangas Vieri, Finland, opening with 300.
For Jussi Kangas Vieri, Finland.
He only got his opener on squat and bench. So let's see if he can do better on deadlift. That looks good.
Easy.
Yeah, that moved really well.
It's a good lift for Jussi. Same weight for Joel Vickersland, Lin Lin.
Next up, we have Joel Emmanuel of Vickersland.
Bar is loaded for Joel Vickersland, Norway.
So if you're watching at home, don't pay too much attention just yet to the deadlift rankings. You see we've got 2 flights running.
300 on the bar for Vickersland. He's pulled 325 raw. In fact, that was in Halmstad a few weeks ago.
Oh, that one looked pretty good.
It did. I do like a conventional deadlift. I know you don't get as much out of
I
it.
am
but
very partial to conventional deadlift, basically because I'm absolutely awful at sumo.
well, I'm not awful at sumo. I just can't do it at all. Now here is Kong Lin. He scratched on bench. He just put one in, and then didn't come out for all his attempts.
Yeah, it was an interesting one, and I think it was maybe carrying something, a bit of an injury somewhere. And of course, the deadlift is the only lift you don't have to wait for the start command. So you'll see the guys come out and just take their time, and when they're ready, they'll make their lift.
It's a good lift for Lin. 240 kilos.
Nice opening lift there.
Mustafa Yazdani.
Next we have Mustafa Yazdani Kachuri from Iran for 340.
Yeah, and I'm just looking across the numbers here. I mean, we talk about the different groups here, and it's tough for these guys because they're not sort of caught up in the battle. There's a couple of guys here in this group that might find themselves getting pretty close to a deadlift medal.
You know what, I was looking at the board as you were saying that. I could see Ian Bell's put his deadlift opener up. He's opening at 365. I hope he knows what he's doing.
He's really looking to send a message, isn't he? Just in case you haven't seen me down here, guys, I'm coming for you.
So here's Mustafa. His PB is 350. He's got knee wraps on. It's unusual. It's not unheard of. It is,
yeah, it's not unheard of.
allowed.
Like, I still, you know, I do talk. I've talked to athletes and coaches every now and then, and trying to find the definitive reasoning behind it. And I think everyone just has their own reasons for wearing knee sleeves or knee wraps.
If it works for you.
Yeah, and that is the whole thing.
That's the key thing, isn't it?
I think from my perspective, my concern is always that that will create more places for the bar to get stuck or create more friction. But if it's working,
Come on, John. Good balance now.
So it was just a little bit of balance issue at the top for John.
yep.
The weight was
he
no
had
issue.
No issue with the weight. Lockout was fine. He just got a little bit off balance at the top. Yeah, he slowed that one down a bit.
That should be good.
Yeah. I think he slowed that one down on purpose there to just make sure he didn't overthrow the balance a bit.
5 kilos for Ricardo Fongaro. Akutsu, Murdad. Get ready.
So we're through to the second round now. This is Ricardo Fongaro. He's coming out for 235.
Yeah, and we are moving through these like lightning.
Vamos.
Yeah, that moved okay. It didn't look super easy at the top, but it was never in doubt.
Certainly brings some ferocity to the beginning of the pole, doesn't he?
It's nothing like the Brazilian passion that they've shown this week. They really have been passionate as well.
Takahito Akutsu.
Bar is loaded for Takahito Akutsu, Japan.
Yeah, very disappointing that he's not able to total.
So here's Takahito. 290 on the bar. Oh, he's not
just
quite got
couldn't
his
lock that
balance.
Just shifted forward. He tried
That's a
to manage
shame.
that, and of course he's got the red cards, the red flags there.
Yeah. That's such a shame. He got the moral victory. He stood up with the weight. Couldn't quite get
Yeah.
his balance though, and fell forward with it.
Bolek, get ready.
You know, that is
Bar is
I
loaded
guess
for
one of the
Akbari Murdad.
sacrifices in sumo is that you do sacrifice a bit of balance. And if you're a really wide sumo lifter, it's even more so.
So here's Akbari Murdad for 290.
Oh,
And he
same
had the
thing
same
again.
problem. Balance went.
Sorry, no lift. He also lost his balance in the end of 200 kilos for Evzen
Now, these guys have been pushing themselves so hard today.
Get ready.
And you can see it's just starting to take its toll a little bit.
Evzen Zichevski.
For Evzen Zichevski,
Czechia.
Well, I didn't expect him to come out.
No, I didn't
Again.
either. And he's limping out
He's
to the
wincing
platform.
as well.
You know what? It didn't stop his opening deadlift looking fast, though, did it?
No, I'm just trying to. I'm just wondering where it is. It could be something maybe even his ankle or his foot. Oh, that one looked tough though.
It did.
Just looked a bit awkward.
And it's a good lead for Evzen.
There's no point making an injury worse, though.
For Patrick Boleck.
You know, he's got 300.
Yeah,
Maybe he'll leave it there.
I certainly wouldn't like to see him, cause a longer-term injury.
Patrick Bolek coming out next. His opener was super fast.
And he wants to do the same on this one.
Oh, and that was not
That
much
was-
slower.
That was pretty much the same, I think.
And it's a good lead for Patrick.
He
For the
just
Patrick,
walks out,
10 kilos. For Jussi Kangas.
gets it. Thank you very much.
Get ready. Bar is loaded for Jussi
Here we go
Kangas.
with UC Kangas Vieri, 310. Don't forget the rankings don't really make any sense until we get through to the second group. Hips rose a bit early, but he got that all the way. Shoulders weren't a long way back, but the referees are happy, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's always an interesting thing, and the ruling on shoulders is more about the hips being locked. And if your shoulders are forward, then it's unlikely that your hips are really locked properly.
You're Emmanuel of Vickersland for 340. He's gone up 40 kilos.
That is a monstrous jump.
I know he's done 325. He did that in Halmstad in September.
This is a huge jump, 40
It really
kilos.
is. And that was only 6 weeks ago, so recovering must have been difficult. He's got it moving, and he's got it all the
Tell
way.
you what, I
Wow.
am impressed. A 40 kilo jump and a personal best.
You know, I don't think there's much else there, but that was phenomenal.
That was fantastic, wasn't it?
Kong Lin. That's Danny.
Wow, so we have
Get ready.
Kong Lin coming out now for 342.5.
Bar is loaded for Kong Lin. Chinese
This will be
ready.
a 12.5 kilo PB.
Let's go.
Well, if you can take a personal best on the world stage, it is one heck of an achievement.
Oh, his grip's
Oh,
going.
his grip is going there,
Right
yeah.
hand was just opening as he was trying to get
Yeah,
through.
and you could sort of see about halfway up, he tried to sort of counter it, but
Yeah, his knees. I mean, that's not even conscious. Your knees trying to get under it to support the weight. And that's a real shame because that moved really quickly.
Yeah, it's really tough on the deadlift too. When your grip starts to go on a first or a second lift, it's the high probability that it's going to go on the third as well.
Mustafa Yazdani Kachuri from Iran for 355. These are some huge numbers.
And just taking his time. He's very casual about.
Yes, he's been a little bit late to the platform a few times.
30 seconds left here. Hold my sandwich. I'm going to go lift
He
this.
could do with his socks pulled up though.
He gets that one on the board.
Good job. One more chance. One more lift to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we start the third round.
I wouldn't like to see too big a jump to the next one though. That was a tough lift.
We have John Wesley Cummings coming out next. He's only gone up 5 kilos. He's had a tough day.
It has been really rough for him. What is this? 2 from?
I'm not sure,
2
to be
from
honest.
7. 2 from 8. 2 from 7. I'm not sure.
I think
it's been tough though.
I think he's 2 for 8.
And of course, we're into the third deadlift now, so the bar will be cleaned after each lift.
And here comes John.
Wesley, Canada.
And just taking his time, no rush. I can see the technical control looking there, so I think he might be out there ready to come out.
I did see someone take the chalk, but
Well, maybe he's not
do you know
coming
what?
out. We've got
Every
30
time
seconds.
he's come out, I've seen Ryan Stin out on
And he's
the
not out here at
right-hand
the
side,
moment.
and he's not there. So John Wesley Cummings is not coming out.
Yeah, he's
Can't
left
blame him, honestly.
Yeah, look, he's left his number on there to give the guys that extra bit of rest, make sure they didn't take that away from him.
Which is good sportsmanship, but he's not going to come out for this. So the rule is if a lifter's put a lift in, the clock must tick down, even if they indicate that they're not going to come out for it.
And, you got to take your hat off to him. He has had a rough day. He came out, missed his opening deadlift, got a little off balance, hit it on his second, and I think he's gone out the back and said, you know what?
Yeah,
That's enough. I need a beer.
He's probably already in the bar. So that was no lift for John, and we are now into round 3. Ricardo Fongaro, Brazil. Second wasn't easy.
Yeah, look, he's had a bit of a mixed day as well. He didn't have a great time on bench.
Last time on this stage at Stavanger World Championships.
Brazil are in the house. I can see Ana Rosa in the crowd shouting for him.
He's just gotten a bit out of balance there.
Yeah, he just got really
Yeah,
out
he's
of shape.
okay. He just got out of balance. He tried to recover it, and he probably should have just let it go, really.
Yeah.
He tried to recover. I mean, that's, if you're an athlete, you're trying to do everything you can to get that bar.
Absolutely. So that leaves him with a best of 235 and a 672.5 kilo total.
But he has a total.
Which is more than
You can say for
6 we've
6 of
lost,
his
yeah.
athletes. It's been tough out there today.
Here's Akbari Murdad. Missed 290 on his second. He's going to come out for it again now.
Bar is loaded for Akbari Murdad, Iran. Let's go.
He just lost his balance. It was the
Yeah,
same
I was
as
just trying to
Cummings, wasn't it?
remember.
Yeah, he tipped over at the top, pulled it all the way and tipped over at the top. Oh, it's a shame because that looked quite easy, didn't it?
And he gets that one on there.
Good shot.
Yeah, it's a really tough thing. I mean, sumo, and particularly depending on how you set your feet and how wide they are in sumo, there is that sacrifice. Balance can become an issue.
And you have 5 attempts. Time to
So
change the
this is
opener
interesting.
for second
Takahito,
group.
he's gone up. He
5
missed
attempts,
290,
time to change the opener.
and he's gone up to 305.
Yeah, I think this is really just a shot at a personal best. He can't total today. There's nothing on the line. I might as well take a shot at a personal best while I'm here.
I'm pretty sure he lost his balance at the top as well.
Last lift on this stage. Here is
I mean, he's certainly strong enough. He has. I mean, that hasn't been an issue for him all day. Strength is not the problem.
Actually, this will be a small PB for him. If you can still count your PBs if you don't make a total.
Oh, not today though.
Bit too heavy.
The day has just taken its toll on him a little bit.
Leaves him with the best of 270.
15 kilos for Kangas Vieri, Zichevski and Bolek. Get ready.
315 now for Kangas Vieri.
Well, his opener was good. His second was good.
Third round just runs a little bit slower as we
Yeah.
clean the bar.
Just making sure every athlete has exactly the same opportunity on the last lift.
Let's go, Jussi. Come on.
He's 4 for 8 at the minute, which is as well as most of the lifters here have done today. Looking for 315.
Getting all that air in.
And it's
Patience
moving.
is a virtue.
Oh, he's
I don't know if he was fully
I'm
locked
not
out there.
certain.
He was.
2 to 1.
This is actually a really good example. We talk about the shoulders. If they're not back, it gives the impression that even if you're locked, you're not.
Yeah, I was just a bit worried that he was going to tip over at the top there, but he kept it. He got the lift,
Yeah, I think if he had held it any longer, he might not have been.
and that gave him an 877.5 kilo total. He's gone up 17 and a half, and you know, this is Evzen Zichevski, and his second looked tough.
Yeah, it looks like he's carrying a bit of a tight or inflamed SI joint, which can really sort of give you a lot of pain in the lower back and down the leg. But the interesting about it is quite often when you load it, it stops hurting.
Right.
Mind you, I'm not talking about loading with 317 kilos though.
Yeah, that's quite a load.
That's a different sort of load.
And he's taken a big jump from what looked like quite a tough second.
Oh, it's gotten away from him a bit there. It shifted out in front.
Oh, it's hard to watch him limp off.
Big hand.
Yeah, you can see at the start there, it just shifted forward as well. But he came out and he's given everything he's got today. There's no doubt about that.
Patrick Boleck, Denmark. He's gone up 20 kilos. It's no. I can't look at the rankings just yet because the second group haven't come out to lift.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent jump to 320, but his previous 2 lifts moved like a rocket. And you can see him waiting there. He is bouncing around. He is hyped up for this lift. I think this is the most hyped and intense I've seen him all day. Look at him. He's
Here he
almost
comes.
running out.
This is the intensity you need for your final deadlift. I think he would be running out if he wasn't in a suit.
Yeah, I'm sure he wanted to.
Oh,
He just couldn't quite
lost
get it
his
there.
balance.
Sorry, no lift.
He gave it everything though, and it was a very legitimate attempt.
Load the bar.
It went so fast. He just locked his knees a little bit early. The weight swung out in front of him, and that's hard to bring back.
Yeah, look, and it's really tough when something moves off the floor faster than you sort of expected it to. It almost catches you by surprise.
You can see Lin there in the wings waiting to come out for 342.5. I think he just lost his balance at the top.
Yeah, I mean, it is. He's probably one
Oh
of the.
no, his grip went.
Yeah, and he's one of the tallest lifters here too, so he's hanging on that bar for a long time.
And moving it a long way.
And it'd be really interesting to see, and I hope he's managed to rectify that. It is really hard once your grip goes once. And there's sort of nothing you can really do to change it, except grip it tighter.
He was out of shape.
It's already
there,
starting to
wasn't
go as well, yeah.
No lift.
He's done all he can do.
he? Leaves him with a 755 kilo total. Your Emmanuel of Vickersland, he's gone up another 10. He opened at 300, went to 340.
That was phenomenal, though. A 40 kilo jump. Yeah, and yeah, it looked like there wasn't much there, but I think he's got the motivation for another 10. Yeah, he's in front of his home country.
Yeah, he has the support.
That'd be a massive personal best.
Bar is loaded for Euron Vickersland, Norway.
Here he comes.
Well, he is built to be a conventional deadlifter.
This is a big ask, though.
Well, it's going to take everything he's got. He's got it moving well.
No, won't
not
go
quite
past the
there.
knees. Do you know what? His 340 was great, and that was a PB in
absolutely
itself.
phenomenal, wasn't it? We both looked at each other in shock when we saw he'd gone up 40 kilos.
This is 15 kilos more than his personal best.
Next up, Mustafa Yazdani Kachui,
Get ready
Iran,
from second group.
for 365.
This might
Yeah,
be
it's interesting. I
even
mean, his
300
355 was slow, but it never really looked like it was in doubt, I suppose.
Well, what is interesting is I can see him in the wings there. He's added knee wraps, which he didn't have on last time.
Bar is loaded for
So will that make any difference?
Iran.
I'm
Well,
not sure.
They're not SBD,
Let's go,
so.
Mustafa. 365.
Or will they get in the way?
That's the payoff. That's the trade-off, I mean. I don't think they gave him any benefit at all.
Sorry, no lift.
So that leaves him with the best of 355
Load the bar to
and an
240
865 kilo
kilos,
total.
please, for Jeroen Van Gelder.
So we are now into the second group. This is where we can start to really look at the placings and who's going to be in contention for the deadlift medals.
Yeah, this is the
and
business
who-
end.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of guys here that don't just need to get their opening lift. They need to get it convincingly. You need to be sending a message to your competitor. Well, pushing me is not going to work because I've got plenty more left in the tank. Just play your own game.
So here's Chuminyago Zegve, and he needs to, it's quite a low opener, quite a low deadlift compared to his PB. But what he's going to be looking to do is to make that bench record official.
Fantastic deadlifting in the next 45 minutes.
If you don't make a total, you do not get the record. So he just wants to pull this,
Yeah.
make sure of his record.
He has to put this on the board.
240 kilos.
So nothing silly. A number that you can do any day of the week. Put it on the board so your record now stands. And that should do the job. It does.
Good lift, and that is the
So
world
his
men's
record is
confirmed.
official now.
Load the bar to 285 kilos, please, for Oliver Dalcrist.
Next up, we have Oliver Dalcrist for 285.
Silbaum, Van Heuswelder.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, he's sort of in a position where if he can get some good deadlifts on the board, he could challenge
And
for the
bar
podium
is loaded for Dalcrist,
overall.
285 kilos.
Now, I think this is already... I know his PB is 297.5, so he's a little bit shy of it. But I think this gives him a PB total.
Yeah, it will do.
Oh, his
Oh,
balance
he
is
just
gone.
got out of balance.
He's not having a great day, is he?
The strength was absolutely fine.
Balance at the top. He'll be back next time.
He just
Load the bar
got
to
a little bit
310
forward
kilos,
there.
please, for the next three lifters. The first of which will
So,
be Christian
310
Slisha.
now for Christian Slisha.
Slovakia, Silbaum and Van Heuswelder will follow at the same weight, and the bar is loaded.
And of course, it cannot register a total.
Has yet to make a successful lift, so let's hope that deadlift goes well.
Well, he got it there. was not the cleanest. It moved fast, but it was a bit on the messy side to lock out. But he's got one on the board, and after the day he's had, that has probably got to feel like $1 million.
Absolutely. Marcus Silbaum, Estonia. Also for 310.
Estonia, 310 kilos.
Oh no, I'm not convinced by that. I was
Yeah.
looking at from the side, and the lockout was not sufficient.
And if
Yeah,
you look at
he's-
his grip on his right hand too,
he's
it's
going.
almost gone.
And I think that's why he couldn't get it through.
Yeah, he couldn't pull any harder. He just sort of had it balancing there anymore, and it would have taken his grip. I thought he'd try and get away with it, but not today.
We have Euron Van Heuswelder, Belgium, for 310. And he's made his opener.
Good lift.
And
Fantastic.
it looked really good and really convincing as well.
15 kilos, please, for Danilo Cavallo, Machinsoff, Hurl and Gunnam.
So this is where the game of powerlifting comes around, because Cavallov led the way in squat and bench, but he's not got the biggest deadlift.
Yeah, and what's interesting, he actually put his opening deadlift up. He originally had an opening deadlift of 300. He's gone to 315.
Now this is right up against his PB, so I hope this is safe and comfortable.
Well, it's an interesting bit now because he knows he's being threatened.
That was super fast.
Well, that was certainly safe and comfortable.
Good lift. 3 white lights. Load the bar
Now
to
I think this is where Ian Bell missing his second bench is really going to come back to bite,
Yeah, those
because
couple of
Cavallov
kilos.
has pulled it out in front now.
Hurl, Gunnam, Bell to get ready.
Sergey Machinsoff for
And the bar is loaded for
325.
Sergey, 325 kilos.
Yeah, needs to put this one on. And their total registered.
Well below his PB. I thought
Oh,
he'd
just
gone
lost
a
his
long
balance
way
at the
with the
top
lockout
there.
there.
He's okay. They'll just
Yeah, just
he's all right.
he
Just
was
release the belt.
trying to make that so convincing. He just went over backwards. He's had some issues with his balance today.
Yeah, it's been a rough day. He had earlier issues with the squat.
Asgar Hurl from Norway for 325.
Man, the crowd absolutely love him.
Had a rough day. He's 2 for 6 at the moment. I don't think anyone's had a brilliant day, or not many people anyway.
There haven't been many. I don't think there's been any perfect runs.
That looked great.
Gets that one on the board and registers a total now.
Load the bar to 340 kilos, please, for Eric Gunnam, Sweden.
Next up we have Eric Gunnam. He missed all his benches, so he can't register a total, but he can still take a deadlift medal.
Yeah, that's something that should be noted. You can still medal in the individual lifts without registering a total.
340 kilos on the bar. You were talking the other day about the different ways people wear their belts. He's got his really high.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things with the belt on deadlift is, I mean, obviously it's fantastic to use a belt, but it can make it difficult to get the air in.
And difficult to get down to the bar too, if you're a bigger lifter. Always.
Oh, he got a bit off balance as well.
Is that going to hurt him?
No.
He's on the board. Fantastic.
Load the bar to 365 kilos, please.
So he managed to keep his balance, didn't quite go over. Now, Gary, I've been a bit slow on the uptake here. This is Gene Bell coaching Ian Bell, isn't it? It's his dad, it's his father
not
and
aware
son.
of it until we just looked into it.
I'm a bit slow on the uptake sometimes, but I finally figured it out. That's, yeah. If Gene Bell is sending Ian Bell out,
fantastic, isn't it?
and he looks fired up, he looks ready for this. 365
Well, this is
kilos
this
on
is
the bar.
more than just registering a total. This is demonstrating that I've got a lot more left in my tank.
This will move him up to 2nd place overall. Wow.
Well, there's certainly more in the tank.
That's a good lift.
So the fight is on. I don't think anyone's going to touch him for the deadlift medals, but this is about the overall. And he is 10 kilos behind Cavallov. Cavallov is going to have to keep putting numbers on the board.
It's going to be interesting because Cavallov, you know, he's a strong lifter, but
He's a
deadlift
great
isn't
lifter.
his
thing.
best strength.
But his opener was so fast.
He's got room to move. Has Ian Bell got enough to chase him down?
I wouldn't like to call this. But I think it's going to give us some exciting lifting and a great finish to the competition, because what powerlifting is all about is when it comes down to the final deadlift and you're pulling for
That's
the
what
win.
it's all about, isn't it?
Tumenyago, Dash Zegve for 260. He's taking a 20 kilo jump. He's not going to challenge for the overall placings. He's got his bench gold and world record. He's got these gold deadlift shoes on as well.
I was just going to say, they match his gold shoes.
Nice and comfortable.
Good lift, 3 wide lines. Load the bar to 285 kilos, please, for Oliver Dalcrist.
And we have Oliver
All right,
Dalcrist.
Oliver, he needs this. He has had such a rough day. He needs this to get that total on the board.
He is 2 for 7 right now.
And he needs this for the next competition as well. He needs this to get the total, to get his confidence back up again. It's taken a bit of a hit lately.
He took the bronze medal on bench. He doesn't lose that if he doesn't make a total.
Well, he got it to the top. He held his balance.
And that's
He
a
gets it
He's
on
got
the
it.
board.
He's on the board. He has a successful lift
Now,
in each discipline.
He can walk out the back now and know that I'm not going to give him a hard time for the rest of the day.
Christian Slish, Slovakia.
So he has a total.
Then
Christian
Sergey
Slish,
Machinsoff
Slovakia.
from Russian Olympic Committee.
His
And the bar is
310
loaded
looked
for
good,
Slish.
and this is 325.
We all want every athlete to succeed so much. We get so caught up in wanting them to get their totals on the board. Oh, that
he's
is
struggling
tough at
to
the
get
top.
back. I don't think. I'll see what the referees say. He did not lock that out.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that was really interesting because it moved so well. Ah, I can see it is there. He's locked out his knees so quickly that it's almost turned into a stiff leg deadlift.
Cavallov,
That is a
Silbaum.
stiff leg sumo Romanian
And the
deadlift.
bar is
Now
loaded.
here's Sergey Machinsoff.
325
He overextended really at the top of his lift, which meant he fell over backwards with it.
Well, he's going to have to rectify that.
If he gets this on the board, puts him in overall bronze, I think he's going to struggle to challenge for anything more than that. In fact, he's going to have to defend for the bronze, I think.
Yeah,
That
that
looked
was
good.
better. Yeah, you could see what he was doing in the first one. He wanted to make sure it was clear that I've locked out,
Yeah.
and he just overextended a little bit too much.
Danilo Cavallo, Ukraine.
Here comes Danny.
Silbaum, Van Heuswelder.
327.5. This exceeds anything he's done in competition
And the
before.
bar is loaded.
But his opener was super fast. I would not bet against this.
Well, he needs to do this to keep that distance. And he does.
And he does.
And that's a good lift. 3 wide lights.
And that puts him in a pretty good position now.
Next 2 lifters, please. First up,
Yeah, he's got 12.5, whereas so is Bell though. Bell is right behind.
Yeah, it's quite close. I mean, the next lift from Bell is going to really tell us if he's got enough in the tank to chase after him. And Cavallov will be watching that closely as well because he wants to know if he's got enough in the tank to chase him.
Margot Silbaum for 330. He's gone up 20. He missed his opener at lockout. And he's gone up 20.
Probably wouldn't be the decision I'd make, but I'm happy for me to be shown I'm wrong. I just couldn't quite hold it.
That's a no lift, unfortunately, for Margot.
And it gets tough now. Once that grip starts to go,
330 kilos for Jeroen Van Heuswelder. Pool and Gunnam.
Yeah, that's tough.
Get ready.
Euron Van Heuswelder. His opener was fast. He's gone up 20. I think the coach has asked for the bar to be cleaned.
yeah. And, you know, that knurling fills up with a bit of chalk. And, you know, you want to get a good grip on that knurling. And I think the Alico bar probably has the most aggressive knurling of every competition bar
It's hard
available.
on the hands, it really is. But it allows you to keep the best grip you possibly
It
can.
takes no prisoners, though. And that should be
Looks
okay.
decent.
It
Good
is.
lift. 3 white lights. Load the bar to 337.5 kilos, please. For Ascar Hill, Norway. Gunnam and Bell to get ready.
Asgar Hurl next from Norway for 337.5. His opener looked great.
And the bar is
Yeah,
loaded.
and he's
Ascar
such a crowd
Hill,
favourite, isn't he?
Norway.
During the squat session earlier, the stadium filled up with
It did.
fans,
People poured in.
school kids.
He's in 5th place overall. This will move him up to 4th. Ahead of Dalcrist. That was great.
Has a bit of a look around.
Oh, and there he goes. A little bit of hubris coming to get him
Having a
there.
bit of a laugh there.
Wide line. Below the bar to 355
He's such a character.
For Eric Gunnam, Sweden, Bell,
He'll be out the back now. The rest of the Norwegian team were giving a hard time over that.
Yeah, he'll definitely get some stick. But you know, there's talc over the back of the platform as you walk away. I hope he hasn't gone over on his ankle though. I hope that's not
He
going to
didn't
affect
seem
his
to
next
limp at all
deadlift.
when he walked off.
So we have Eric Gunnam on the platform right now for 3:55. Still comfortably below his PB of 3:72.5.
Yeah, he needs to get these on the board. He didn't register a bench. It was just tough out there. I'm getting a few.
What I
deadlifts
hadn't
on.
spotted up until now was that Kachuri from the B group was in silver medal position, but Gunnam has just knocked him
Yeah,
down to
he's
bronze.
still hanging there in the bronze medal. We said earlier today that there was a couple of guys with a chance of getting on the podium. He's still in there.
I can see some big lifts going in for the 3rd round, but first we have Ian Bell.
Now, this is, I wouldn't be surprised if we could see the coaches around somewhere watching.
7.5 kilos.
So this is going to demonstrate how much more has he got left.
Oh, it's tough. He's working through it.
I don't know if he's going to lock that out. He hasn't.
No, he's been failed for lockout.
No.
You know, I think he could have just made that a little bit more convincing.
Yeah,
It was
need to
just an
squeeze
inch
the
from
hips
lockout.
through, put the shoulders back.
I think he can do that the next time, you know.
He can, but he's just sent a bit of sunshine to
He
Cavallov.
has, and we can see on your screen at the minute that Cavallov has now pulled out a chunky lead over Bell, and Machinsoff is, well, a decent way behind. I think Machinsoff is running his own race now. I think it'll be a tough ask for him to.
Yeah.
I'm saying this, and I can see that he's got 360.
Yeah, look, he's going to be putting in a number there, and he's going to be waiting, and he's going to say, well, look, Ian Bell's carrot is 1,012. If I do 362 and a half, I can maybe pull for that
Yeah,
medal.
that's a big pull.
And they're going to watch it all the way through.
Dajzekve with 275, and he nearly got there with it, but
Yeah.
not quite. That leaves him with the best of 9:15, and I think he's fairly safe in 7th place.
7.5 kilos, please. For Oliver Dalcrist, Slisha, Cavallov, Van Heuswelder to get ready.
Next out, Oliver Dalchrist.
297 and a half.
This moves him up in the overall rankings to 4th. Can't quite make the podium.
So he's lifted this before when he was 93s.
And the bar is
Deadlift is a lift though, it doesn't respond as well to body weight increases as squat and bench. Sometimes you find that, you know, you're not in the best position as a bigger lifter.
And I think the day has taken its toll on him a bit. He's just not looking as excited as you would imagine he usually is. Boy, that moved quick though.
Didn't it? Well, that matches his current PB.
I have
You'd
no
think
idea where
there's-
that came from. That moved so fast.
He locked his knees out very early again, but he got it all the way.
Slovakia.
Well,
Yeah.
that gave him a
He's-
965 total.
He'll finish
Hurl to get ready.
feeling very strong and feeling a lot better after that.
Now we have Christian Slisha. He missed this on lockout. So let's see if he can.
And the bar is
Get it
loaded.
this
Christian
time.
Slisha, Slovakia, his final lift of the day.
He's well forward in it, isn't he?
Not today,
Yeah,
Christian.
just got the timing
There will
all
be
wrong
better
on that
days
one.
ahead.
Leaves him with the best
That is a
deadlift
no
of
lift.
310.
Load the bar to 340 kilos for Danilo Cavallo, Ukraine, Van Heuswelder, Hurl and Silbaum to prepare.
So here is the man in the lead.
Yeah.
He's looking for 340.
That is a big, big lift. But
He's
the others have
looking-
gone well.
He's looking better on a deadlift than we've seen him before. We know he's a big squatter and a big bencher.
They're moving super fast. He's really been working on those, working on that technique.
He's already got a big total PB. This will be 20 kilos on his deadlift PB.
But there are lifters to follow.
He just wants to extend his lead and make absolutely sure. He's not going to
He
get
got a
it.
bit out of position there.
Wow.
Brave attempt.
He's going to have to wait now, isn't
Well,
he?
I think he's far enough. I mean, that would mean Bell would have to pull 380.
Yeah.
385.
Hurl and Silbaum.
Do you know what? I think he's going to come out and try it.
Well, it'll be interesting. I mean, I think we're really waiting for Hurl and Dalcrest to put their lift in theirs, because I imagine if Machinsoff is unthreatened for the bronze and it's secure, he might just put the 365 on just for a Hail Mary.
So here's Jeroen Van Heuswelder for 342.5.
Personal best. Let's give him some encouragement. Come on, Jeroen, let's go. Let's do this.
No, Kachiri is still holding on to the deadlift bronze from the B group.
Just hanging in there.
That's
Yeah,
not
that just
quite
didn't want to
there.
go today.
That is a no lift. Load the bar to 352.5 kilos, please, for Asca Hill, Norway, Silbaum and Machinsoff to get
Now
ready.
this is quite a big jump. We've gone up to 352.5 for Asgar Hurl.
Yeah, so this is the one I'm really interested to see if he doesn't get this lift.
This will put Asgar into 4th position in deadlift and 4th position overall, with lifters to follow, of course.
So I think Machinsoff is quite safe
I
there
think he
now.
is. No one can challenge him.
Yeah,
for
so
third.
look, I mean, he might decide it's just too far out of reach.
And the bar is loaded for the final time today. Asca Hill, Norway, 352.5 kilos.
It's a big personal best. Oh, almost 20 kilos onto his personal best.
It's going and it's gone.
I think it's there. Right, now don't fall over this time.
Good lift.
That's a
He
great
is
deadlift.
over the moon with
That's
that.
massive.
That is great.
So that puts him in 4th place, and yeah, no one can challenge him for that. He's 4th overall. Finishes with a 972.5 kilo
From
total.
nowhere into silver medal position in deadlift with 1 lift.
Margus Silbaum
Well, this is a bit of an all or nothing,
And
isn't
will be
it?
at 2.5 kilos.
I can't register a
Personal
total.
best, more than he has ever lifted before.
It's a
Try
big
for his
ask. He
deadlift
missed
medal.
310. He
When he
missed
comes
330.
out,
He's asked for
please think of all
357
years
and a
of
half
growth.
to go to
It's on a tough
silver
day,
medal on deadlift.
bar loaded,
Yeah,
he's
look,
been
it's a Hail
punching
Mary. It's an all or nothing.
Come on, Margot.
Can I salvage something from the day? And it's also a bit of, if I don't try it, I'm going to kick myself forever.
He needs to sort that lockout out, though.
Not today, unfortunately, a no lift.
So that didn't work out for him.
365 kilos, please, for Sergey
Here we go.
Right,
We
come on.
have Sergey.
You need to buy me a drink.
Sorry,
We have a
had
change.
a change.
Another change.
Load the bar to
Eric Gunnam
365 kilos,
is now
please,
looking for
Eric Gunnam,
365.
Sweden.
So when two lifters call for the same weight, the lower lot number goes first. Eric is in silver medal position at the moment in deadlift. Ian Bell is must be lighter.
Yeah, Ian Bell's a little bit heavier.
Oh no, this moves. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
so this will move Gunnam to
Gold medal.
gold
Yeah.
medal. Salvage something from the day.
Eric Gunnam, Sweden.
This is 10 kilos up from his second.
Yeah, look, and we know that the sniff of a medal can suddenly give us an extra gear.
And this isn't quite his hometown crowd, but you know, we're not too far away.
Yeah, we're not far away. Not quite there.
Not today.
It throws a little bit
I do
early.
like no thanks, not today.
Tiny bit too heavy, but a brave attempt. So he has the silver medal for now. He's guaranteed at least the bronze.
And this will
We
put
have a
Sergey
real
Well, you
Hail Mary on the
you have
bar
to buy
now.
me a drink now because I called this
You
one.
did, you
and will
absolutely
put him
did.
from 9th to
This
second
is
place in
seasoned
deadlifts
warrior
as well.
Sergey Machinsoff looking to go up 40
Well,
kilos.
you know, it's 5 kilos over his best lift. It's a
The bar
huge
is
lift.
loaded,
I mean, the 40
lifting
kilo
for the
jump.
silver
But, you know,
medal,
He's the
Sergey
this
reigning
guy
champion.
has done some amazing things in the past. And I've been at competitions and he's done things like this and you're thinking, not a chance, it's not going to happen.
Well, this moves him up from, he's guaranteed the bronze. It moves him up to silver for now. I can see Ian Bell has put a world record on for his third, so we'll have to see how that goes. But first, Sergey Machinsoff. And it's gone. Oh, wow.
Does he get the lights? He's got it there.
Absolutely incredible.
And now he's
Machinsoff
making Ian
moves
Bell
ahead.
defend that silver medal.
388.5 kilos.
So,
For the final lift
in order
session,
to move
Ian Bell,
ahead, in
US
fact,
Virgin Islands.
Ian Bell is now in third place overall. He still has the deadlift gold.
Yeah, I thought he would
He
have
is
changed this back to
currently
380.
in third position. This lift
He wants the world
will
record.
not just give him the
Oh,
world
it's a
record, but
risky
he
one,
will
isn't it?
become
This is a
world
big
champion.
risk.
But he
Everything
wants-
on one lift.
He wants the lot. He wants the world record. He wants the gold medal. He wants to be
Are you
world
ready
champion.
For this, Norway?
Well,
And
he's
he
going
has
for the
his
double.
dad with decades of experience sending him out.
Well,
Cavallov is in first place at the minute, and he is going to be chewing his nails in the back.
Machinsoff has managed to pull himself up into second,
Now
but
Bell
it could
missed.
all change in about 20 seconds. We're about to find out.
Here we go. He's fired up. He's bringing the fire.
Has he got 388.5 in him? It's a world record. It's for everything.
Everything in one. Crowds behind him. No,
Just too heavy today. He played
No,
the
that
risk
was an
card.
absolutely brave move. Shoot for the moon. I really admire that. That leaves Danilo Cavallo open world champion ahead of Machinsoff, who pulled out a phenomenal deadlift
Yeah,
to
he
take the
watched it
silver
all the way
medal
to the end, didn't
from
he?
Bell, who was looking great for the World Championship all the way through. What an absolutely brilliant session. I really enjoyed that. That was superb. I hope you'll stick around for the medal ceremony, which is coming up soon. And we are not finished for the day, as we have the 120 kilo class coming up this afternoon. Join us then.
first the participation medals to everybody. First, we will have a referee. There was Cavallov from Iran, a referee test. And he succeeded and has a pros category 1 regional referee title. Congratulations. So we start with squat medals. A bronze medal with the best lift with 390 kilos. Russian Olympic Committee, Mr. Sergey Machinsoff.
You know, I think the referees must have managed a session without failing. I think did they fail on the deads, did they?
Oh, not on dead.
No, that's what I mean. I don't mean a session.
Okay.
395 kilos from US Virgin Islands, Ian Bell. Gold medal from squat with the best lift, 405 kilos. From Ukraine, Danilo Cavallo.
He's not still a junior. What is he, 24? 25?
Thank you, gentlemen. Bench press medals. Bronze medal with the best lift, 280 kilos, goes to Sweden, Oliver Dalcrist. Silver medal with the best lift of 302.5 kilos, goes to Ukraine, to Danilo Cavallo. And the bench press gold medal with a new world record, the best lift, 325 kilos, goes to Mongolia, to Kumenjargal Dasegbe. New world record, 325. Thank you, gentlemen. Deadlift medals, bronze, with the best lift of 355 kilos. To Sweden, Erik Gunnam.
And the PC,
Silver medal, the best lift 65 kilos, Russian Olympic Committee, Sergey Machinsoff. And the deadlift gold medal, with also 365 kilos, US Virgin Islands, Ian Bell, right to home body weight, Dan Sergey. Thank you, gentlemen. In total, bronze medal today in these World Championships 2021 in Stavanger with a total 1,012.5 kilos to Virgin Island, Ian Bell!
Yeah, 125 raw bench.
Silver medal with the total 1,015 kilos to Russian Olympic Committee's lifter Sergey Machinsoff. Gold medal with total 1,035 kilos goes to Ukraine. World champion today is Danilo Cavallo.
The most incredible thing, the true Hail Mary that worked. But it planned.
Please stand up for national anthem of Ukraine. One more time, round of applause to all our amazing lifters on the 5 kilos class. And we will continue 5 o'clock.